Oh.
All right.
You said go? Okay. Alright. So, last time we left off, all of you had encountered this demigod of death, Zaxxas, who had risen up from this chamber with a pool of lava after Kent had slit his wrists or his hand or whatever and spilled some blood on top of an altar. It also happened to summon forth the four shades that had been the princes of the apocalypse, and this all culminated in a very large, very difficult battle that actually wound up with Kent dying at one point before being resurrected by Will. In the midst of this combat, you were joined through the means of magical teleportation by Obark and Sir Bradford, and as they jumped in to aid you, you eventually become the beast mostly through the help of Obark's magic missiles and his high-level casts. With the beast defeated, however, Draxton, your dragonborn companion, dropped a bead which had frozen time, giving Obark the chance to rise up and grab the latent heart of darkness that made up the central core of Zaxxas' being. He claimed to have released the souls inside of this shard, and after the time stop spell wore off of you, you saw not the typical humanoid form of Obark that you were used to seeing, but instead a fully formed, powerful lich who claimed to have freed the souls from this shard and to be taking the shard away, believing that the power that it contained and the possibility that it could bring was far too dangerous for any one individual to have, especially all of you.
Was there any
Given
way
that you
for
were
that? I'm sorry. Was there any way that we could have confirmed that the souls were released? I mean, do we know for a fact that they were?
Will, you know, or you remember that you heard your master's voice faintly as you started this fight, but in order to find out anything more detail, you'd have to find some other way to look into it. You really didn't get a chance to examine the shard before Obark went off with it, unfortunately. But you opted to essentially let him take it for the time being, if for no other reason than you were you had been too battered by the fight with Zaxxas to really confront a lich at this point in time. So, having collected yourselves, Sir Bradford in tow, you managed to essentially go back the way you came, retrieving the elemental weapons of the apocalypse on your way out, grabbing them back up. As you exit through the wagon works within the middle of Red Larch, it is early in the morning, probably about 7:30 in the morning. There's a light rain that kind of drizzles across the town, allowing you to see the faint, wispy bits of smoke rising from some of the now charred buildings that once made up the homes of some of the people of this town. You can hear the faint cry of mourning as people weep over their dead. As you exit the wagon works, you are approached, or rather, Sir Bradford is approached by a dwarf in guard uniform who runs up and salutes him and says, "Sir, we've routed out any of the remaining undead that have attacked the town." Sir Bradford says, "Good. Where have they gone off to?" "They've scattered, sir. No feasible direction. We've taken them out as they've run off." He looks back at you, Sir Bradford does, and says, "Well, I believe that's a good sign that we've done something right, at least. How many dead?" The dwarf kind of stutters for a minute and says, 234, sir. Gods above. Almost a quarter of the town. They're still counting the dead, sir. What do you guys do upon hearing any of this, if anything?
I mean, not to be mean here, but I don't really have any connection to these people. I don't.
We'll ask him who's overseeing the recovery and rebuilding effort.
The dwarf will respond. The constable is overseeing the recovery efforts. The inn and tavern have been converted into a means of temporary bedding and housing.
All right, Will's going to go to the inn and tavern.
Okay. What do the rest of you do?
Oh, I was on push to talk. I say,
that they should burn the dead so they can't come back and attack us. I know it's not
Fundamentally
normal, but
important.
this is not normal times.
The dwarf will say, we've been attempting to do so as much as possible. Though there's been some restraint by some of the local farmers.
Smart.
I guess I'd like to find a place to lick my wounds if that's possible.
The dwarf will say, oh, the inn is still open to anybody who needs a rest. I don't know how much room you'll find.
I'll make do, and I'm gonna head off towards the inn then.
Okay. You follow Will behind in tow.
I will follow as well. I'm needing quite a bit of rest before we.
I'll help with
continue.
the efforts going on in town to, put out fires or take care of the dead or whatever needs.
We could use any hand we can get. Your help's appreciated.
I'll go with Dr. Connors to help him.
Okay. Tuck, what are you doing?
Drinking.
I assume that means you're going to the tavern. Okay. So I'll remind you that the inn and the tavern are two separate buildings. So Tuck, I assume you'll just head into the inn. That's where they kind of serve the drinks, following along with everybody. So, excuse me, Will, Tuck, and Isn't. As the three of you kind of head into the inn, you can see that a lot of the tables have been pushed off to the sides, kind of close to the windows, and much of the floor in the common room has been converted into some temporary bedding that's just been kind of spread out. It's heaved all over the place right now. There's excuse me, maybe a couple of folks who are in the midst of sleeping, or half sleeping, but most of the folks in here are in the middle of nursing what looks like maybe some coffee or possibly even booze, and they're kind of huddled off into different corners against the pushed up tables or just along the sides near the bar. And as you enter in, Calissa, the owner of the inn, will look up at you and say, take whatever seat you can find. Help yourselves.
Will walk over to her and kind of just put his hands on her shoulders and look at her and say, "You're doing good work. We're here to help." Not. He reaches into his pocket and he pulls out, let's call it 30 gold pieces, all right, which is quite a sum for these people anyway. And he gives it to her and he says, "Consider this in advance, because I'm assuming all your expenses for now. Anything anybody needs as far as the recovery goes is on me. Just continue to see to anybody's need who needs something, whether it's rest or food, whatever." And he says, "Is there like a boy or a child or something like that around?" I call him over, say, "Boy, come here." And I say go ahead.
There's a young boy who looks to be maybe not much older than 7. He's just been huddled up in the corner. He looks like he's been crying for some time, and the tears just stop coming after a while. He's clutching onto what appears to be a stuffed doll of what looks to be maybe a facsimile of some ancient hero, though you can't place the character.
I'll deal with him in a second. But is there anyone that looks more together, maybe a little older? Someone I can just call to run an errand for me quickly?
There's an older farmer boy who looks like maybe he's a teenager, maybe in his 13, 14 years old, who is in the middle of nursing a drink. He is sitting by a couple of younger girls who look to be maybe ages 6 and 8, if you had to guess.
That's ideal. I call him and one of the girls, actually the girls, both of them over. I tell the boy, I give him a gold coin, and I say, "Go to the wagon, the wagon works. Tell him we need 4 wagons with horses here, ASAP, and tell him that I'll pay for them when they arrive." I send him off as quick as I can. I turn to the girls and I say, "Work with the innkeeper here." And I turn to the innkeeper and I say, "Give these girls a list of whatever it is that you need in the way of food, supplies, medical supplies, bandages, whatever for these people. We're going to send these wagons to all the nearby settlements, the other towns, the forts, etc. see if we can get whatever you need sent in as quickly as possible. You must be running short by now. I just I say to the kids, go, go, go.
The boy nods and says, "I'm sorry, sir, but the wagon keeper is dead."
Then find 3 other boys and get those wagons here as quick as you can. Go. Someone's running that place. The wagons are still there, yes?
No, sir.
You're telling me there's not 4 wagons in this town?
If there's
He
nothing at the
says to the
wagon
boy.
works. You exited out of the wagon works, and anything that was there is gone.
All right. Well, then in hindsight, then I probably would have said, just get 4 wagons here. Find them wherever you can. Tell them that tell whoever owns them that they'll be paid for. Just have them come with the wagon.
And they'll run off as well. Calissa will look at you and she'll say, "I thank you again for the help, of course. We, right now, what we need is time to recover, more than anything, I think."
Yeah, I can't build, and I'm not very smart, but what I do have is money and a willingness to help. So all I can do is what I can do.
Well, go ahead. Sorry, Kelly.
She said, "That's all we can do." She smiles and kind of claps you on the shoulder and leans over to one of the barkeeps and she says, "Take this over to the storehouse and see what you can do to buy as much bread as possible." And the maid runs off.
Then will just go over to the boy and just start engaging him a little bit. Talk to him about his doll and see if is he now an orphan. Just kind of find out what his situation is, while everyone else just kind of does what they're doing.
So your parents dead? No.
God. While this is going on,
my parents died too. Wrote a song about it. Want to hear it? Here we go.
Kent, did you say you were heading? You did say you were heading over to the end. So Kent isn't, and Tuck, while Will is kind of pulling cash out and dispensing it to the innkeeper and trying to organize some relief efforts. What are the rest of you doing, if anything?
Kent, utterly exhausted, is going to try to find a makeshift cot, and I'm just going to I'm dead on my feet, literally. So I'm just going to literally crash.
Okay. Kent kind of, while Will is going on, just kind of passes his way by, finds maybe a nearby bar stool that's next to a nearby cot, and he kind of half places himself backed up against the bar stool, kind of half placed along the cot, and just passes out.
So I'm gonna walk in and seeing all this shit going down. I'm gonna feel a little bit of remorse. I'm just gonna let out a long drawn sigh, and I'm just gonna walk around and see if anyone needs medical attention.
Looking around, it looks like for the most part, anybody who's needed medical attention has been taken care of, and for the folks in here, right now the focus is just on resting up. You do get a couple of strange glares, you assume probably because it's of the red skin. Most of these folks certainly haven't seen someone of your kind before, and go ahead and just make a general insight check.
Where is it? There it is.
Just kind of glancing around, excuse me, you get a general feel that most of the general common folk and farmer folk, even though you don't appear as a drow, you're strange enough and different enough from them that in this instant, under these circumstances, they kind of pass you on trusting eyes, though that's not been new to you since you've left for the surface.
I guess since everyone's just kind of resting up and getting refreshments and whatnot, I'll just try to see if I can't help pass out stuff then for people who need it.
Okay. You assist Urkel in the help with that. For the most part, it seems like people want to be left alone, but if you stay at the inn for a little bit longer, eventually the bread comes, and they'll begin to bake it, and you'll kind of help passing that information out. While this is going on, Tuck, what are you doing? Just asking for a drink?
I'm still drinking.
Okay. Calissa throws you. Are you drinking something of your own, or are you asking the barkeep for something?
Barkeep.
Okay. Calissa will essentially just hand you a whole bottle, and she says, 5 gold.
Here's 10.
Thank you. And she'll pass you the bottle. You give it a taste. It's not great, but it's decent, good enough that it at least keeps you sated. So that's going on. Dr. Connors and Tegan, you guys are making your way out across the town, and the bulk of the grim business of collecting the dead and trying to get them into a place where they can get through respectable funerals and everything seems like it's been done. For the most part, it seems like what everybody's trying to do now is pick up the pieces of the homes, search for any survivors, that sort of thing. As you're kind of peering around and helping out with these efforts, I'd like the both of you to go ahead and just make a general survival check for me. Not you, isn't. You're at the tavern.
Oh, my bad.
So that was a
All right.
hell of a survival check.
Survive.
Tegan, you're kind of peering around through much of the rubble, and nothing immediately catches your eye. But Dr. Connors, as you're kind of peering around, your snake pats you on the leg and to point you in the direction of a nearby house. As you approach the house, you can see sticking out of some of the nearby rubble is what looks to be a woman's hand that's unconscious.
Help! I need help over here. I'll start to unbury her as I call for help.
Okay. Go ahead and make a strength check with advantage. A couple of the guards will rush forward to aid you. I assume Tegan's going to help you out as well. All right. You lift through the rubble and you can see a young woman, probably about your same age, with her hair is kind of matted and sweat beaten and drowned out. But as she kind of lays there, and the guard leans down and checks her, he says, "Hi, she's alive. We'll get her to safety." And they pull her out of the rubble. As they pull her out of the rubble and they are beginning to get things situated, the rain is beginning to let up, and there's a barest inkling of a sun that begins to crest the early morning. You continue to help with survival efforts through at least about a first hour of the early morning, helping to recover folks, dig through some of the rubble, try to return belongings, and there's an organization effort going. But the overall mood is somber. And for the most part, while people are appreciative of the help that you're providing now, most of the general mood of the people is down, and they're trying to do what they can to keep themselves. That being said, you hear, while you're in the midst of this, Dr. Connors, a faint ticking noise, and overhead you catch while you're in the midst of this, you catch the faint shadow of a large bird-like creature that you think might be an owl based on its shape, but it's a little irregular, that flies overhead of you, and it looks like it heads towards the tavern. Or the inn, excuse me. For those of you who are in the inn, we'll say isn't, while you're in the midst of helping things, you're kind of taking a quick break over by one of the nearby windows, and you hear a faint tunk, 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 tunk on the window.
I'll try to look out the window.
Okay, you see the shape of what looks like some sort of bird just tapping tunk, 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 tunk on the window.
Like, it's just using its wing to
Beak.
just tap? Or it's using its beak, okay. I guess I'll just, like, can I tell if it's human? Like, or not human, like, actually like a real bird?
It's the fogged up window is kind of making it so that the bird is silhouetted, and without opening the window, you're not really able to tell.
I'm gonna let curiosity get the better of me, and I'm gonna slightly open the window.
Okay, as you slightly open the window, in flies in this bird, but as you kind of peer around and look at it, you realize it's not biological. It's mechanical, actually. You can see the gears that twist around its wings and around its
Run!
eye, and the eyes have a sort of green light to them as it just kind of flies around here. And you can see clutched in one of its claws is a small brass box, and it just kind of flies in, sits up next to Will especially, and kind of perches down, hops off the brass box, and goes.
Will looks at it. It's holding something, you said?
It's holding a small brass box.
Will take the box. Say,
Okay.
thank you, my friend. Thank you, my little friend. And is the box sealed? Does it have any markings on it?
Taking the box in your own hand, for the most part, it seems sealed, but yes.
And no markings.
No visible markings on it, just holding the box.
All right, I'll call the others over so that they can see this. And I'll carefully open the box.
Okay. You try to open the box, it doesn't open.
Cracks my knuckles. Allow me.
By all means.
I
You
will
grab
try.
the box. Okay.
I was
Are
gonna
you
try
trying
to
to
pick
make?
it.
As you kind of look for a lock to pick, there's no visible lock to pick.
I'm gonna ask for Kent. Well, I guess it has
Cat's passed out.
Okay. Well then, I'm gonna do my best to see if there's any magic to it.
You don't think it's magic. You think it's some kind of mechanical device. There's maybe some faint tracing of it. Without deeper magic, you can't quite discern the nature of it.
Will play a tune, one that he plays the most, whatever it is, the scales he practices or whatever, something that would be distinctively something he would play.
Okay. While waiting for that, Tegan and Dr. Connors, eventually, while you're kind of helping in the midst of all of this, there's a lull in which you're able to take a break. Would you prefer to meet your companions back at the inn, or is there something else that you would prefer to do?
I may be a snake man, but I'm not immune to being tired. So if there's time, I'd like to at least sleep for like an hour or two. But I'll head back to the inn probably.
Okay, Tegan, will you follow him?
Yeah, I'll follow. If there's nothing else really for me that stands out, I should be doing.
Okay. There's a lull. They'll say that they could maybe use some help later when the sun dries up some of the mud a little bit. As you do see Will in the midst of kind of holding this brass box, as well as this mechanical bird sitting next to him. And it's gotten the attention of a couple of the folks in here.
Do I
So
notice
Will,
the bird?
Yeah, you notice the bird. It looks over in your direction and goes.
I tell him to get away from the bird. It's probably a trap. It looks like a mechanical bird sent by Dr. Octavius.
Dun, dun, dun. So,
Will, you said you were doing something with your instrument?
Yeah, I'm gonna play scales or whatever whatever tune I usually play to limber up.
Okay. You begin playing your scales to limber up, and actually the mechanical bird next to you will match the tune. I can't match the tune, but the bird matches the tune.
But it doesn't open the box. I thought that might be a key.
Nah.
So, can I inspect it and see if there's any type of can I tell if it's has gears or any type of mechanical pieces to it that might lead to a specific point that the box might open from?
Oh yeah, there are gears to it, but there's no indication of where they might open the box from.
Or like
And there's a lid.
any main gear to it, I guess?
You better inspect fast, because I'm like getting ready to shoot it with my bow unless you stop me.
Nah, don't do that.
Okay.
Yeah. I just want to see if, like, maybe there's a hint of reasoning to how to open this at all, like within the box, or like outside the box itself.
You can go ahead and just make a perception check.
And that's a 15 because I'm proficient.
Not enough. You can't discern just by looking at the box how it would open.
Kent is trying to
Passed
sleep.
out.
I know, but I am trying to sleep. I'd like to say that I'd wake the fuck up if I keep hearing this stupid bird going. "Burp, burp, burp, burp." I'm like, what the fuck is
Sure.
all the noise?
You say this in a crowded inn.
Again, what the fuck is all the noise?
One of the villagers go, "Why don't you ask your friends and that damn bird?"
What bird?
I got a box for you, Kent.
I'll go over. I'll take a look at the bird. Does the bird look magical at all?
It looks mechanical,
Mechanical.
like a mechanical construct.
So I don't get the impression that there's any magic animating the construct.
Not just at a cursory glance. You can do a detect magic if that's what you really want to do.
I don't have a detect magic, so that wouldn't work out.
Kelly, how closely does the mechanics of the bird look and feel like the mechanics that Octavius was using for his harness?
Not that similar, actually. Dr. Otto Octavius, a lot of the scientific implementation that he would use for his arms was more or less straight iron or steel or adamantium, as was the last case you met him, or adamantium laced, as the case may be. This is just clockwork.
I assume you guys you've told me that it dropped off this box to us.
I'm gonna push the box at you and say, I need your help.
I'm gonna take a look at the box.
Okay. You see a simple brass box with mechanical gears kind of just hiding in the midst of it.
So I get the impression that there are gears on the inside of it.
Yep.
Do I get the impression that this is some sort of puzzle?
Possibly. Just by the cursory glance, there's no way to really discern what the puzzle might be, though.
I'd like to take a few minutes and investigate the box to see if I can figure out how this thing opens.
Okay.
I would like to
go.
place hunter's mark on the bird.
I'm gonna look
Done.
at I'm gonna look at you though, and I'm gonna say, can you talk to the bird?
Ken, just at a cursory glance at the box, you can see that there's faint tracings of arcane scribe on the box, but they're so dim, they're not lit up or anything, so it's hard to trace out what it's saying.
Hold on, let me just check and see if I have something here still. Because I actually haven't completed a sleep, so I would still have comprehend languages on me.
It's the before you use that spell, you can make out that there are arcane letters or symbols or something on the box, but it is too faded and too worn out to make it at the time to really make out what it says, regardless of comprehend languages or not.
I'm going to cast light on the box.
Okay. The box shines with light.
Does it make it any more discernible at all?
No. Go ahead and make an Arcana check for me.
Okay.
We'll ask the bird. Can you open the box? Does it require a special key? He'll ask.
Kanda, as you're peering at the arcane symbolism a little bit more closely, you can discern that this is a special type of messaging that is typically bound to the DNA or the implementation of a specific individual, so that in the way of coded messages like these, that only the person who the message is meant for can read it.
It's Harry Potter's snitch. Do I have to put it in my mouth?
Are you
Don't be the
taking the
snitch.
box? Are you taking the box from him?
Oh, absolutely not. No. I'm still very weary of the box, and I'm scared. So feels like a trap.
Am I?
I'll,
Okay.
I was
As
gonna
you
say-
as you ask the bird, Will, the bird just kind of up next to Dr. Connors.
Am I holding the box right now?
Yes.
I'm going to throw it at Dr. Connors.
read,
Okay.
motherfucker.
Can someone
Dr.
roll a
Connors, make a
dex
dexterity
save?
save.
For me? Yeah, can you roll it for me?
Okay.
Okay.
Sure thing. What am I rolling?
Oh, it has to be on his stat block. I'll roll it for him.
Okay. Well, I didn't know if I had to roll to hit him.
That I don't know. You toss the box at him, Dr. Connors. I assume you're going to want to catch it.
I want to dodge it.
Oh, you want to dodge it? Oh, okay. In that case, the brass box goes over your head and hits the girl as she returns from collecting a coin right square in the forehead. And she kind of lies down, clutching her forehead.
I am really sorry about my friend.
All right, real fast. I would like, without him noticing, I know he just dodged the box. I'm hoping that he didn't turn around. I'm just going to, like, cast Mage Hand on the box and just run it into him.
Okay.
I think that would work probably.
Make a sleight of hand check.
Sure thing. What the hell? Oh, Jesus.
Dr. Connors, you see this mage hand conjured right before the girl's eyes, right before your eyes, and it begins to kind of just take this box in an effort to throw it in your direction.
Take the goddamn box!
Fine. I'll catch it if he hands it to me.
Okay, he hands it to you. When you grab the box, the arcane symbols on the box light up.
Oh joy.
And you hear a faint sound.
I open the box.
Okay.
Because that sound was it unlocking.
As you grab the lid actually comes straight off. And as you peer inside, you can see a severed finger with a ring on it, a signet ring. The signet ring you recognize as being that of the Hucrella family. Kent, with your keen perception, you, as soon as the box opens up, hear, you watch as the bird's eyes change from green to red in its color, and you hear a faint
I fucking knew it. I'd dive away. Everyone get down!
Can't cast
Everybody immediately gets to the floor.
Can't cast watery spear around the bird.
Will cast Wall of Force around the bird.
As you cast the wall of force, as you cast the watery sphere, the explosion of this bird is contained within this concentrated sphere, and everybody kind of kits down, covers their ears. Calissa hits the deck, everybody else hits the deck, and you watch as this force of explosion is contained within the short space, as mechanical parts go flying, bouncing around all over the place inside of the sphere, the watery parts ducking them, making them wet, and as the explosion kind of clears from the sphere while you're maintaining the concentration, you watch as the only thing that seems to be left are smoldering bits of metal and the feet of this mechanical bird that are just kind of stood there still with trails of smoke hitting the edge of the... Well, they're not really hitting anything because they're trapped in the watery sphere, so it's all just kind of floating in the midst of this watery sphere, trapped within the sphere, the invulnerability sphere.
What the hell was that?
It appears Dr. Octavius has sent us an invitation.
Refresh my memory. Whose finger is that now?
It appears to be the girl from the town we were at before, whose name I now forget, but I saved them all. That's what I'm going to tell you. I'm trying to look up her name. Hold on.
The name was Sherwin Hugh Cruller, and it's the
That's the
gal
one.
who you've been sending love letters to.
Well, I stopped when
forgot.
she stopped reciprocating my affections.
You forgot.
Maybe it's because she lost a fucking finger? You ever...
Well, no.
The arcane
always
symbols on the
very-
lid, by the way, Kent, are lit up at this point. And
I-
reading through them, presumably with comprehend languages, it reads, "Guess who, Doctor?"
Doctor Who! No, anyways.
That's all it says. It says, "Guess who, Doctor?"
Mm-hmm.
Can't look at Dr. Connors. I'm going to say, you know, you and your girlfriends, and I'm going to go walk back over and lay back down on the fucking cot.
While you're doing this, burly kind of man looks like kind of a farmer. He says, "Could you all just please leave?"
I'll look at Crowl and just say, "Hey, so if we can't chill in here, can we like use your,
Your place.
yeah, your place? I don't know what it's called. I just know it's a really cool, warm place, and isn't the need for it."
Sure. So I'll head outside and find a nice little piece of grass somewhere in the town that's not
Covered in bodies.
covered in bodies, on fire, or anything like that, and I'll catch.
All right. I assume the rest of you follow him and basically take respite in his hearth of moonlight and shadow.
Oh, yeah, why not?
Kent actually crawls inside and then casts the tiny hut. I'm gonna
All right.
pocket the signet ring. I don't know what to do with this finger. I'll
You're a
hand
doctor.
the
You can
pocket to
surgically
Kent.
reattach it.
Yeah, no, I'm a chemist, not a medical doctor.
Damn it, Jim!
I didn't get my medical license revoked for nothing.
I'm still laughing at stethoscope.
Stethoscope.
All right.
Okay.
I'll assume that you all, talk with drink in hand, will follow, taken out, use his hearth, and rest. So go ahead and restore your shit.
I will thank Tegan profusely.
I am gonna hold on to the box, Killy.
Okay.
The remnants
Yeah, I'll
of
give
the
it to you.
box.
Sure.
So I say, what other side quests do we have besides rescuing this hoe?
This hoe.
This hoe. What?
Yeah.
I'm also going to ask Kent if there's any way he could get this curse off of me. I'm gonna try to slide the ring off.
Actually,
Yeah, it doesn't budge.
You can take the ring off. You're
I
still...
know, but it won't remove the curse. That's why I'm asking if he can.
Actually, the ring stuck to your finger.
Oh, is it?
well.
Oh, damn.
Cannot
Straight.
re-
I'm sorry.
yeah, the curse of red skin is bound to the ring itself, and you cannot remove the ring except through means of
Oh,
runes,
cannot be
curse, or
removed.
the
Yeah,
similar
you're
effects.
absolutely right. I
Um,
just read that.
I enjoy being red and all, but this is too red for my liking.
I will straight up tell you, I have no way of fixing that issue.
God damn it. Well,
But I am going to pass out now.
I cast that on him, see if that removes the.
That would remove the magic long enough for you to remove the ring and dispel it, yes.
oh my savior. Thank you, Tegan.
I was gonna say, isn't that still remove curse a actual spell?
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yes.
think it's for paladins and clerics, isn't it?
Something like that.
It's cool.
So I assume we are sleeping.
Yeah, I assume you take the 8-hour rest.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I assume that isn't asking me to do that before the rest. So I don't destroy myself.
Yeah, well, that was totally before the rest. Yeah, we got into the bubble and I'm like, can anyone help me out here?
Okay.
But if after the first 4 hours and I'm rested, I will gladly kind of scope around town and just keep the watch out.
Sure. I'll say after the 8-hour rest, you recover yourselves. You come back out. It's early in the afternoon, and for the most part, the guard have kind of taken control of it at this point, and you can see there's a few villagers kind of trapezing here and there, talking to some of the other nearby folks, checking to see who's there and who isn't. But for the most part, the shops seem like they're closed. And people seem like they're just staying off the streets.
I will ask the gang what the game plan is.
Well, I'd still like to try and melt down this sword, make it into something for my snake. Or, I mean, if worse comes to worse, I'll summon an ape and just give it to him and make him nimble.
God.
Oh shit!
So I guess the ball's in your court, DM.
The ball in my court means I have to drop money on the Humblewood Kickstarter or something.
What? I don't know.
It's a Kickstarter. It's a Kickstarter that basically it's a campaign D&D campaign setting that uses like woodland creatures as intelligent beings. So you have like an owl warrior or whatever. So anyway, for your benefit, I did have sort of a side thing, but there's not really going to be much more of a situation where you're going to come up against a whole lot of combat outside of Octavius.
Yeah, it's really weird how he's immune to all of my snake's damage, though.
The Octavius isn't.
Well, all of his constructs are.
It's constructs, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, maybe you should just not use the snake.
Well, it's any beast.
Well,
They have non-magical weapons.
I mean, mechanical creatures can't be poisoned.
Yeah, that's the main issue.
Fair, but they also can't take damage from his attacks, which is most of my damage. I mean,
not necessarily.
Kelly,
what up, Doc?
do I get
Yes.
the impression, knowing where this box is made from, and I'd like to see if the blacksmith is still in the town at all.
The blacksmith would still be in town, yes. As you kind of look over, you can see he's, contrary to everybody else, the shop itself is closed, but he's banging away.
I'd like to go into the shop and, what I'd like to do is I'd like to figure out if, hold on, I gotta read this again. Hold on. What I'd like to do is see if I think that rod through Arcana or whatever might be attuned to where Dr. Octavius is hanging out.
Okay. It would be...
A metal and then make it into a rod or something.
Okay. Are you asking the blacksmith what he thinks of this?
No, I'm I'm going to try to figure that out on my own, I guess, and then actually ask him if he could
Okay.
pound that into a forked metal rod.
Okay. In that case, go ahead and make a history check.
Oh God. History. Fuck you. Not you.
You don't know what this brass box is.
Fuck.
It's a brass box.
You know what? I think it's time that we revisit the shop of the hoarder.
What does that mean?
You remember the hoarder?
Volvo.
Oh, gotcha.
And
Hoarder.
we know where, what plane he is on. I recall from earlier, right? And I keep saying
What?
Mechagon.
Mechanus.
Mechanus. Who
Yeah,
knows?
Mechagon's World of Warcraft.
Yeah, I know. So
Mechatwerk.
I'd like to make my way down to the shop, and I'd like to just really ask for any help from anybody that can really look through it and see if there's anything in there that thinks that looks like it might be from Mechanus at all, or a book that might have sigils that might have like something from a teleportation circle. Look, we talked to the guy and we knew what he had, but
Okay.
yeah, okay.
You return over to Volvo's sundries. He looks like he's in the midst of counting spoons. He says, I don't know what all is here. Everything's such a mess. Just if you're afraid to look around, I just don't make more of a mess. As you kind of look around, he's got stacks upon stacks of books, most of which have tumbled down and are little more than just heaps and piles on the floor. Some of which have been stacked, most of which have not. But as you're kind of just tossing books over your shoulder or whatever else, much to his dismay, go ahead and just make a general investigation check to see if you can find anything that stands out to you as being particularly useful.
Well, real fast, I would like to say, what's his name again? I'm sorry.
Volvo.
Volvo. He is a gnome, correct?
He's a human. Old human being.
Old human being. Okay, my bad. I'm gonna say, look, Volvo. Listen, I'm glad that we're back, and I hope you don't mind that. Oh wait, he wasn't the one with the boots. Damn it. Sorry, I was gonna say a whole fucking thing.
Nah, that was the leather worker.
Yeah.
He says, "Not you," as you pass by.
You wouldn't happen to have any old books in here that happen to have sigils to the other planes of existence? I know that you have many books. And I know...
Yeah, I have to sort through everything. Everything's such a mess. I'm not sure. I'm vague remembering.
Here's
It doesn't seem
20...
like he's gonna be much help.
Here's 20 gold to let us look through whatever we can to see if we can find it.
Okay, okay, thank you. Thank you. Go right ahead.
Alright, now what did you want?
Investigation.
Investigation. Alright. I'm assuming you guys are helping me.
Yeah, I'll dig around with you. I'll investigate with you.
Okay, go ahead. You can make that check.
That's an automatic 10. It's
okay,
actually
so
a
a
20.
total of 13.
No?
No? Are you
20.
proficient in investigate?
Yeah, I'm proficient. I have a plus 10.
Okay. I'm sorry. I was under the impression that it automatically made any roll that was less than 10 a 10. So
Correct.
10 plus your proficiency, so 20. Okay, I got you. All right. So in that case, I'm sorry, I had to do the math in my own head for some reason. While you're kind of in the midst of looking through, it takes you about 15 minutes, but isn't. You do come across a book that mentions theories about the outer plane.
I think I got one.
And Kent, as you're kind of flipping through for the Mechanus section, it mentions Mechanus as being a plane of absolute order, and its headquarters is actually a big city of brass that is headed by, I don't remember his name off the top of my head, but the head of Mechanus kind of rules from that location.
Does the
Primus, that's it.
book give any kind of guide or definition of the sigils that would be associated with that plane?
It doesn't specifically reference sigils. The other thing while you're flipping through is the elemental plane of fire also has a city of brass.
Do I find that would be useful, or do I assume they're the same place?
It's not the same place. I just typed in city of brass and brought that up. I was like, well, I could have had you fight the fire dude again.
Okay.
But judging by what you look on this and on kind of circumscribing it to the box, you do get the connection between what literally you're able to kind of look at. That yeah, this box looks like it was probably came from material collected in Mechanus.
All right. With that, I'm gonna go back to the blacksmith and say, "Hey, look, I I'll give you 300 gold if you can pound this box out into a forked rod for me."
That just sounded so graphic.
I
I
know.
pound that box with my rod.
He looks at you. He looks at the box. He looks back at you. He stretches his hand out for the gold.
And I will hand it to him.
Okay, he pockets it, takes his hammer, whack right against the box, and it kind of splatters into pieces. He takes the rod that looks like it helped to hold the lid in place out, and he just hands it to you.
See that we never meet again. I'm going to
Thank you for your business.
I'm going to grab the
All right.
rod and walk away.
Okay.
I'm gonna meet back up with the guys, and I'm going to ask Dr. Connors. I believe I have a way of getting us to Dr. Octavius, or at least where he was last at. Do you want to finish this? And Dr. Connor's silence means, I guess, that there is
Sorry?
no finishing this.
Pardon? What did you just ask? I'm sorry.
He has a way of
I was-
getting you to
I was-
Doctor.
I was deep in a book, reading, to try and find where we're supposed to go.
Yeah, he says he has a way of getting you to Dr. Otto Octavius.
Oh.
Do you want to finish this?
Yeah. Do we have any other side quests before we go? I'm kind of just putting it off as much as I can.
Off the top of my head, not really, no.
Okay. Well, then let's go do it. Unless anyone else has something they'd rather do.
I would suggest Will go have a talk with Sir Bragford real fast and tell him that we'll be back. Before I leave Killy, let me see something real fast. Killy, do I know how to get back to this plane of existence?
Probably with another plane shift using a rod of any kind made from this plane of existence. So long as you had an iron rod, you presume the immovable rod, if used as a focus, would probably work.
All right, I'm still holding that. I think so. Okay.
Yeah. Just to make this easy on all of us.
Okay. I didn't want to go there and then not be able to get back.
Yeah, I don't have a whole Mechanus adventure planned or campaign planned. So.
I didn't think that you did, but I can see you being, and your characters are stranded there forever.
No. You'll have a way back, but you'll have to. The trick of it is you only have one spell slot in order to use that spell.
Yeah, I know. I'm gonna have to rest again, assuming I'm alive.
Mhm.
But like I said, I suggest we'll go tell Bradford what we're doing. We have to finish. We have to finish what we started.
Yep, let's gather everyone and do our super secret handshake, little pre-gaming, and then we can go.
Okay.
We all here? We ready to go? We good?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it.
I'd like to take a walk down to where the pickle guy was, and
He's the cart has been dragged away and the place is empty.
that's fine. And then I would like to form a little circle with all my good friends here. And I would like to hold on to the rod and playing shift.
Okay. We're gonna have to use a blank battle map. I tried as hard as I could to find a good mechanics map, but I couldn't. But as you focus on the spell and the shifting transcendent weave of magic begins to kind of shimmer all around you as you kind of close in together, you will begin to reform together within what appears to be a large space that is entirely made of brass and clockwork. You can hear the constant shifting of gears ticking all around you as you kind of form. In the midst of this laboratory, you can see there are alchemical stations off to the side with all sorts of different stuff brewing. You can see there are a couple of mechanical creatures that are in the midst of being worked on. And surrounding them all, you can see creatures that look to be mechanical in their design, that all, if you go to the D&D chat channel, look like this.
Huh, that's not terrifying or anything.
And a few of them, especially the winged ones holding small swords, will kind of surround and walk up to you. Kent, don't forget to restore your hit points.
Yeah.
Don't forget to increase Ka's hit points. It's 87 now, okay.
Gotcha.
As you kind of teleport your way in here, a few of these creatures kind of walk up towards you, and they will say, "Query, state your function. Query, state your function. Non-habitual life form detected. Query, state your function."
Dr. Congers?
We have come to find your leader.
Squawk.
Make a persuasion check. I'll also add for your benefit, because I mentioned this before. One of the areas in this room looks like it's some kind of portal. Right now it's inactive.
I'll add beep boop to the end of it.
They kind of surround you questioningly, interested, and they say, "Query, designation, name?"
Isn't.
Query, designation, name?
I'll say Ronners with an R.
Does not compute.
Will steps up and says, "Allow me." He gives his bow. Says, "We are the Diamond Bears. I am Will Ferrell Beethoven."
Query, life form recognized. Please hold. And they kind of back off from you, and they begin to kind of shift and shudder. You can see a set of actually mechanical sliding doors shift open, and you watch as a couple of them leave through the sliding doors, and they just.
We have detected your Windows key is out of date.
pretty good.
Will starts playing Mr. Roboto on his mandolin. Do they respond to the music at all? He'll just play
make
like
a, sure.
he'll
Make
play
a
like a
performance check.
sliding scale and then maybe a little tune.
A couple of the robots seem like they bang on the machines and in tune with yours. In the midst of this, anything else you guys are doing?
Oh yeah, I'm gonna rummage in my pack real quick
Okay.
and pull out the Vizier card and say, Killy, how do I defeat Dr. Otto Octavius?
By taking the winds away from him.
Okay, go on.
Let me look up the Vizier card. Hang on.
Okay.
That card's been sitting there for a while.
Oh yeah.
You know, I guess I can delete.
The answer helps you solve a puzzling problem or other dilemma. It's knowledge that comes with wisdom. And how to apply it.
He is empowered by the winds of fate to deprive him of it.
Okay. Go on. How do I deprive him of it?
Presumably by taking it from him by force.
Oh man. Well, I mean,
what do you want from me?
I need the answer. I took the chance that I could have died. Now I want to cheat and get the answer. How do I get it out of his hands? I need more.
Yeah, you're supposed to just tell him. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's an orb.
Okay.
It's an orb that empowers him. You just need to be able to grab the orb with your hands and take it from him.
But he has way more hands.
Well, he didn't say. He didn't say that it would.
Oh no, that's just a problem for me. I was just complaining.
Alternatively, bind his arms.
All right, guys.
While you're gauging this information.
Go on.
Sorry, I'm looking at a link that I was sent.
That's an entire AD&D section made for Mechanus, if you need maps.
Well, a little late for it now. Not a big deal. I only have the one encounter going on anyway. But while you're in the midst of this, there's a warning sign that kind of goes off, and you watch as a couple of the small mechanical creatures kind of scurry off into some miscellaneous tunnels or into the shifting doors and everything. As the room kind of clears, you hear a voice kind of blare overhead say,
"Well, this was faster than I expected, but no matter. I have had time to prepare. It would have been easier if you had just come yourself."
And you see, stepping out of a large pair of sliding doors is a large mechanical construct. And as it shifts forward, you see in the center of this creature is a glass sphere. And hovering in the center of that sphere is what looks like a orb that has wind swirling around inside of it. But in the midst of this glass sphere, you see the unconscious body, Dr. Connors, of what looks like a female 1T, pureblood.
Oh no. Is she missing a finger?
Yes, she is.
Oh, poor girl.
You hear,
"Tell me, Doctor. When you became the creature that you are, what did you gain?"
Gained an arch nemesis, clearly.
"Well, you're not the only one who has suffered loss."
I'm the only one that suffered what?
loss.
Oh, I see. Okay.
"What do you hope to gain by facing me today?
Oh,
What is it
you
you are after?"
invited me. You said to come. What do you mean, what do I hope to gain? You sought me out.
Aye, I thought I told you.
Alright, I can't hear that.
I don't know what you're saying.
He says, I'll have to stay away from that voice then.
Sorry.
Just imagine it's super, super robotic. He says,
Will do.
I sought to taunt you. It seems you have fallen for the bait. I did not expect you here so soon.
When did you expect me? I mean, you sent the bird yesterday, right?
I had hoped you would have been stupid enough to explode.
I wouldn't have fallen for one of your traps.
And yet here you are.
Hmm.
He stretches out his hand. You watch as lightning kind of arcs from the center of the orb. As it does, you watch as the unconscious body of this female wantee that is in the middle of it just kind of shifts and it shimmers a little bit as lightning kind of arcs from the arms into some of the mechanical robots around you. And as the lightning kind of arcs through some of the mechanical pieces that at first looked like kind of junk piles heaped around, they began to kind of shift with the lightning kind of arcing through them. And you hear Dr. Octavius say, "You know, one of the joys of plane shifting as I have is to gather the creations of other material entities. The bounds of science are not as limited as they are within Faerun. Here are some of my favorites." And you see surrounding you in the middle of this chamber, for those of you who are in the middle of this chamber, are four large constructs with lightning arcing between their almost empty bodies.
Didn't see those before?
They're walking
They
out.
looked.
Hmm.
They were a little more than kind of junk piles in the center of the floor, and they really didn't get brought to life until lightning began to kind of coalesce and arc in between the mechanical parts.
Okay.
And as you watch as the robot kind of raises to its full height, and he says, again, this robotic voice echoing, "Well, I would not want you to leave here so disappointed. Why not start the show then? As I recall, I have a little bit of kicking to do."
Kicking.
Bring it on, Octavius.
Go ahead and roll initiative. All right. We begin the round then with Kent.
So we do.
Use the knowledge the god has bestowed upon us.
Hold on. I am going to cast slow.
All right. Choice within a 40-foot cube. Let's go purple.
Go purple gadget.
All right. What do you want it?
I would like to get the 4 constructs.
It's not big enough to. Well, I take that back. All right. How many can you evocate around?
It doesn't matter. It's not an evocation spell. It's
Oh,
Transmutation.
6 creature choice. Yeah. Never mind. All right. So we'll do the 4 constructs.
yeah.
All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. What's your DC? 18.
18.
All right. The one in the southwest southeast corner fails. The other 3 succeed.
Okay. And I'm gonna move there. No, like in between everyone. No,
Just jump on his shoulders.
No, in all honesty, I'm going to hold on. Hold on. Yeah, I'm gonna move to there. Oh, Jesus.
Okay. Will, you're up at the top of the round.
It's unusual for Will, but I'll roll with it. No pun intended. Going to quickly play a rapid series of notes on my mandolin. Somewhat chaotic and incoherent, but it will afford me. It's essentially casting protection from energy. It's lightning only.
Okay.
But it seemed apropos. I'll cast it on myself, and then finish with a flourish and say, hold on, what are we gonna do? Isn't next, right? I'm gonna give Isn't I'm gonna turn to Isn't to say, "Go team, go!" and give him a die of bardic inspiration.
Ballin'.
All right. D10 added to Isn't.
Otherwise, I'm going to stay right where I am.
All right. Isn't. You're up next.
So I'm gonna yell, "Follow my lead." I'm going to burn a charge of fury, so I get 2 attacks.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to charge this construct down here.
Sure.
And I'm just gonna give him the double slashes.
All right. Alrighty. Because he is slowed, both attacks hit.
Awesome. So there's that. And then there's that. And sneak attack.
Whoa.
I don't think you had sneak attack here because you don't have an ally nearby, and
since my first attack hit, until the beginning of my next round, all my other attacks automatically gain advantage. And second attack already hit anyway. I just didn't roll for second time for it. So that applies sneak attack. And any allies that attack that target also get advantage for that up until my next round or my next turn.
It was easier to do. You don't have to strike. Attack rolls against the target. I see. Okay. So because you hit it with the first strike, the second strike is where you get the sneak attack. I got you. All right. So in that case, 12, 22, 29, and 7 is 36 points of damage overall. All right. You slice into the mechanical construct of this creature. You watch the core that makes up its lightning begins to kind of shift and shimmer around the center of it, and it shimmers around a little bit, but it's kind of slowed down, so it's not quite as hectic as it might otherwise be.
Yeah. Okay. And that's my turn.
Taken. Yep.
All right. Give me 1 second here.
Sure.
I do believe that is a 30-foot cone.
I'll do it for you.
But I can't move this damn thing worth of shit, so hold on a sec.
Rotate it.
Just tell me where you'd like it pointed.
You know what? Let's go with that.
Okay. Yeah, what you casting? All right.
Rust. I fear the rust.
So interestingly enough, the flux chargers, which are these lightning creatures, have a lot of condition immunities, but fear isn't one of them, so he has to make the wisdom save. And drop whatever it's holding, become frightened, which is based off of the DC of the wand. I don't know if I gave Wiggins a wand a specific DC or if I uses yours.
I don't think you did either, but let me go look.
I would imagine, and I'm not trying to be a smartass here, but I would imagine it's higher than 10.
Your spell save DC, it's yours. Okay, so in that case, he's feared. And I will say, however, that Octavius, while he's in this bot, is currently immune to being frightened. So you do fear this fella, though.
Okay.
Good
And
fear.
then
Yes, Ken?
I'm going to move to there.
Okay, all right.
I just said good fear. Oh, I need to get rid of that circle. There we go.
All right, Kaz up next.
Kaz gonna move up to here and attack Octavius.
Okay.
Or try to anyways. There we go.
All right. 19's just enough to hit. So go ahead and roll damage. I will say that the construct that he is in is immune to poison as the snake bites into it, but it does get into the midst of some of the wiring, and you watch as it begins to kind of flick with shocks as the snake kind of pulls back, satisfied.
Cool.
All right.
He's done.
Okay. You're up next, Dr. Connors.
Kurt is going to move to there. Then he is going to cast Conjure Animals.
All right. Conjuring.
I need 8 constrictor snakes, please. One for
Okay.
each of his fucking arms. Oh shit.
Clever. All right.
Clever girl.
Wow, they're really that big? Jeez.
They are
Huh.
large. I think my snake's also supposed to be large, but we haven't been playing it that way. But yeah, they're large.
5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I guess he is. Oh, well, whatever. All right. Let me give you control over them.
Quick question.
Answer.
Yes.
Does Dr. Octavius only have the 4 mechanical arms and then his 2 arms and legs like actual Dr. Octopus?
Well, so actually, this particular construct actually only has 4 arms. You hadn't finished it in time by the time you guys got here.
Oh!
You know for a fact that he himself has 6 arms, 6 mechanical arms, and his 2 hands for the total of the 8. It's his 2, human arms. But this particular construct only has 4. He didn't quite finish it in time, and he's actually using 2 of them to kind of support himself. All right. All right. So the snakes have been summoned. They have gotten their initiative. I think you should have control over them. I'll drag them down
I
to your
can move
pets. All right.
Let me see here. What's around me?
Around you
Just
yourself?
around this battlefield. Like where? Yeah. What are
Okay.
What are we doing?
You can see miscellaneous alchemical tables that have been kind of left unattended after all the small mechanical creatures fled. You can see there's still some miscellaneous mechanical parts that are just kind of heaped into piles and thrown around all over the place. There are maybe some half-finished robots or constructs in the area. You can actually spy one of the mechanical spiders that had attacked you earlier is basically half broken, or a form of it is basically half built and is inactive off in a corner somewhere. You can see the portal that is actually behind you that is currently inactive, and you can see a couple of doors that you have no idea where they lead off to.
Sure. Is there anything that I could hide behind?
You could probably duck behind some nearby mechanical crap.
I would love to do that using my
Okay.
bonus action.
All right. Go ahead and just make a stealth check for me.
No, I just do it as a bonus action. I can use the hide action.
Just-
Okay,
hide
I
action.
You use the hide action.
Yep. Sorry.
Yeah.
Stealth. Make sure I'm not. Okay.
All right. You believe you sufficiently ducked behind some nearby cover.
Okay.
So Dr. Otto Octavius sees these large snakes, and he says, "I am so sick of these!" And taking his two arms, he's actually going to slam into, take the giant arms and slam into two of them. 17, I imagine, will hit. Yep.
Yeah.
So you watch as one snake takes that damage.
Holy fuck!
The other one manages to slip out of the way. So I'm going to say he gets rid of that fella up there. Whoops, hang on. Gets rid of that fella up there.
Like the head of a Hydra, when one dies, another takes its place.
And that's all that he can do in a statue. Talk, you're up.
Can I walk over the snake?
Yeah. Yeah.
I would like to hit Dr. Octavius.
Okay, go for it. All right, taking your newfound staff, you bludgeon into him. Whack! Nothing.
The first one too?
I see the 16. Well, you added everything
It's
in
the-
there. Okay.
Yeah.
I see. 32 hits, yeah.
That's not the damage, that's just the hit. Holy fuck!
Okay, yes. So taking the staff, you watch as there's a quick crackle as it kind of shifts in between the staff with your first hit. You do manage to whack away at some of the metal, causing it to bludgeon itself in on one of the legs.
Stunning strike, can't save.
Okay.
Fail.
What's your DC?
I think it's 17 now.
Yeah, it's DC 17 saving throw.
Okay. The construct is disabled for the time being. So you can actually, because that was the first hit, you can actually roll that second strike with the staff with advantage.
Yeah.
Roll it again.
Roll it again.
Well, you didn't have to hit the advantage. You just had to roll it again.
Well, we'll count the 30, and yes, that'll hit. All right, another 9 points. You bludgeon him even deeper.
Good God,
What else you
that
got?
is a mile of text.
Yeah, how do you make that go away?
I like being reminded of all that every time he rolls it.
Anyway, unarmed strike, yeah, that'll end. All right. You punch in with the fury of your training. You just create a nice little hole right in one of the mechanical legs. You can watch, as you kind of peer in, you can just make out the body of Octavius kind of sitting in there, and you can't help but note it seems like it's gotten mechanical, a little bit more mechanical too.
That'll be it for now, I guess.
Okay. In that case, this fellow who is next to you isn't, and who is slowed. Let me double check the slow effect because I want him to use multi-attack.
Hold on. There you go.
I action or bonus action up both. It can't make more than one melee or ranged attack. Okay, that's what I couldn't remember because it has multi-attack. But it's that one next to you is just going to attempt to slam you. Which 25 will hit. 13 bludgeoning and 5 fire as the lightning kind of arcs across your body and it burns just the inside of your arm a little bit.
I'm gonna use Uncanny Dodge then.
Okay.
So what is that? 18 total?
18 total, and half is 9.
Awesome.
All right. Because this fella is afraid, he is going to dash away from Tegan as far as he can get, which is up to the top here. These two snakes, if they want, can make attacks of opportunity as bonus action.
Sure.
Okay.
Don't think
No, neither of them will hit.
got those rolls out of the way though.
We'll start, and then just for the creatures there, we'll start with the slowed one, moving into the feared one to see if they clear their respective abilities with the wisdom saves. No. And 17, I think, will beat the fear DC. Tegan, maybe. Is your DC 17 or 18?
Spell DC should be 18, but let me just. Yeah, spell DC is still.
Okay. In that case, he is still afraid. And he's just cowering in the corner. Alright, as for these other fellows, this guy is going to stretch his hand out towards this snake, and he
Which guy?
He is going to start by attacking this big snake right in front of Octavius, and he's going to begin by casting Arc Lightning. Jumps to from the target to one creature of the Flux Charger's choices that can see within 30 feet of the target. That second creature, which only if it hits, yeah. So 11, it did not. Alright, it can cast it twice, so it's going to do it again. Alright, and the lightning is going to jump. The lightning is going to arc from that snake onto Tuck. So, Tuck, I need you to make a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, hang on.
Alright, you managed to dodge the arced lightning as it shoots out. However, for me anyway, after both casts, that particular creature is going to take 7 points of force damage trying to do that. And then this fella next to the snake is going to begin by attacking him with a slam. Nope. Second attack. Jeez, these guys suck. Okay. Can't
Don't think it's them.
Alright,
yeah. User error.
let me just see something. Well, I am going to turn around to here. I'm going to get in range. I'm going to cast Cone of Cold. And I'm going to hit this guy. And I should be able to hit that guy if I move to the right location.
Sure, go ahead and link the ability for me.
Yep.
I think it's 60 feet.
I believe it is. It's making me roll damage, just so you know.
That's fine.
I can move my guy so I hit both of them. I was here, I believe. So, yeah. So I mean, that should be able to hit both of them, and I will not obviously hit Will
all
or
the friendlies.
Yeah.
Okay.
Although I can't see Dr. Connors.
You smart ass. I am hiding. That's fair.
Oof. All right. Yeah, but you have a. What's your passive perception, Ken?
It is. If it's like a 2, I'm gonna laugh.
I'm not a perception check. Passive perception.
No, I know. Passive's 10.
Really? It's only 10? I thought you had like alert or something. Shit.
Oh, it's 10 plus your wisdom, isn't it?
His wisdom 0. I thought you had taken alert. Maybe I was looking at the thing of the wrong person.
Hold on. No, I did take alert. You gain +5 bonus in this year. You can't be surprised. Other creatures don't gain advantage. Hold on, I'll link it. Or I can't link it. Hold on.
I couldn't remember if it gave you a bonus. I thought somebody had like a 20 something in the way of.
It's Will.
Will, and I have 19.
Okay. Will has 20.
No,
okay.
I only have 10.
So in that,
you guys are gonna see
well, yeah, yeah. Okay, in that case, go ahead and make a con save, Kurt.
Sure. Wait. What?
Well, that's assuming he's in the range of the fucking spell. I don't know if he is or not.
Oh,
He
fine.
is. If you're going to hit both of them, empowered evocation. Evocation's no, that's not it. Scoped. You can choose a number of. Well, no, you cast evocation spell that affects other creatures you can see. He's stealth in such a way that you can't see him, so you can't see him. He gets affected by the spell.
I'm not arguing it. I'm just saying.
Sure. All right. In that case, Dr. Connors, you take 43 points of cold damage.
May I also say, I'm hiding behind something. Perhaps that blocked the spell? If he can't see me, how can the spell see me?
It doesn't have eyes.
Hey, Dr. Connors,
Yeah.
roll a persuasion check against the GM.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
18.
You dodge the spell.
Oh, shit. It all came down to how good I was at hiding. Fuck.
Unreal, man. Unreal.
All right, these two have to make con saves. No, they take the full 43 points of cold.
503 questions coming. I'm gonna miss them all. There's no way.
Okay, they're pretty badly injured after that.
Alright, and, well, seeing as how I cast it from where I was at, I'm just going to move further away.
Okay.
Alright.
Will, you're up.
Okay, his construct, Octavius's construct, is made of metal. Yes.
And
Yes.
stunned.
And stunned.
Can't move. Or stop anyone from doing anything. Just saying. Anyways, go on. Do it.
Will he starts playing a fiery tune on his mandolin, and with the last strum of the chorus, shooting a wave of heat at Octavius.
All right. You watch as the heat begins to envelop around the mechanical construct. Yes, he still has to make a con save. No. You watch as the heat begins to surround the mechanical construct. I guess he automatically fails because it is metal. And as it does, you watch as the glass sphere also looks like it begins to heat up quite a bit.
It's like re-entering orbit.
Does it seem to be damaging Octavius at all? Does he scream?
Yes,
or?
and it also, he kind of mutters because he's stunned, yeah. And you also notice that it seems like you get the sense it might actually be hurting Sharwin, who's trapped in that glass sphere in the center of this creature.
All right. As a bonus action, I'm going to play another quick tune and another go team go, and I'm going to give Tuck a dice of Bardic Inspiration.
All right.
So that's two of you who have Bardic Inspiration now.
Yep,
and I'm gonna stay right where I am.
All right, you're up.
Isn't sad that no one took advantage of his first strike.
Not a single person.
Is I guess, yeah, he's gonna run and he's gonna try and run up the snakes and get on top of Octavius.
Okay. He can take actions or reactions, but not both. So he's gonna not take his opportunity attack against you.
Okay. Boop doop doop doop. I'm gonna jump on top of him like a badass, and I'm going to
check.
Deal. It's an automatic 25 no matter what. So.
Fine. You get on top.
And I'm just gonna bring Fury down on top of him twice.
Okay. Advantage on the attacks.
Oh, I get advantage, that's right.
Yep, because he's stunned. So you can roll it again, just see if you can. Alright. We'll count the 25 and the 15 as the first roll. So 25 will hit. Go ahead and roll once more for the second attack. 13 and...
Oh, only time. Go.
20. Okay, so both of those attacks will land.
Okay, there's that, and then there's that. And then I'll bring Mariner's Revenge down on top of him as well.
Okay.
And then I'll give him a
18.
sneak attack. Oh,
Okay.
does it not
18
hit?
does not. 18 does not hit.
Okay.
So
But
go
since
ahead and
I
add
have
the
tuck
sneak
within
attack.
5 feet of him, and I have advantage.
All right. You lay down the sword on top of the glass shell. You watch as the sphere begins to crack, and there's a shattering of the glass sphere that makes up the central head. And you see inside is a gnome with 6 mechanical, look like adamantium arms now, fully adamantium. But the gnome himself, his entire face is mechanical in design, and as he realizes that his construct is kind of doomed, he pushes a lever. You watch as he kind of shoots up out. The construct begins to kind of shutter down, which you will drop with the construct itself, and then you watch as this gnomish creature just kind of pops out and says, "Always the heart."
He does all that while he's stunned, huh?
It wasn't him who was stunned.
The construct was.
Okay. All right, I see.
So while he's crawling out of this construct, can I stab him some more?
You burned all your attacks on the construct.
That would be an opportunity attack. I would think.
Opportunity attack.
No. He's within 5 feet of you still in the entire process. You did not get an opportunity attack against him.
I was thinking, like, I just broke the glass. He's sitting and he crawls out of this hole, and I'm like just sitting here staring at him, waiting for him.
He said no!
The constrictor snakes are next.
No, it's Tegan's turn. They're out of order.
Yep. Oh, yes, you're right. Tegan, you're up next.
All right. That's for Mr. Octavius.
Okay. That's a con save, alright. No, he takes a full effect. You watch as what little... Oh, hang on a minute. No original plan, and there's a great chance to tree shroud. No effect on undead or constructs. He's heavily construct at this point. Yeah, in fact, most of him is actually metal, but there's still a little bit of vitality with him, so it does do some damage.
He's like Vader.
Yep, he's more machine than man. But yes, that
They
does
spend
do
$1 million
damage.
on him.
About. All right, you watch as he kind of recoils just a bit, and his focus right now is on Isn't though.
Is it my turn?
Tegan, are you done?
Constrictor snakes.
Yeah, I don't think anyone's like super hurt. So.
All right. In that case, Octavius is going to burn a legendary action, and he is going to fire. He is going to fire a fear ray against you, Isn't? I need you to make a wisdom save.
Oh joy!
Remember, you get that bardic inspiration.
Natural 1.
Yeah, never mind.
You are afraid.
Run away! Run away!
All right, now it's the snake's turn.
So I was told after burning that card, I needed to separate him from the fates. Do I see any of those?
The orb is in the body of the construct that.
So that is the orb
Octavius.
that you were referring to.
Yes.
Okay.
It's in the middle of a glass sphere within the center of this construct. You would have to essentially smash it, which would free Sharwin from the center of this glass sphere, as well as the orb.
Okay. Each one of these is gonna try to attack him one at a time, and then once he is attacked, then I'm gonna do something else. So let's see.
Okay.
I'll start with this one here, and then I'll just go counterclockwise.
Okay.
Did I hit him?
22 hits. Yeah.
Woo! Take 3 damage and don't move, bitch. You grappled. And then the rest of them are just going to try one at a time to grab this orb and make it be theirs. Like take it out of the construct, and they will then constrict around it. So it is unaccessible
Okay.
by him.
Okay, they will all swarm around the center of the sphere and just basically block it off. Then
Well, can they like take it out of the construct, or like I don't know how?
I'll allow you. The only ability is constrict, right?
They have bite as well.
Okay. If you want to make attacks against the sphere, you can make it. You have to roll attacks against.
Well, I don't want to hurt her if she's in it. I guess. I mean, I'll try to attack them or whatever. But I don't know. I want to be able to move it. Can I move it, or is it like in there?
It's in there. You're gonna have to break the glass that contains it in order to get in there and get the thing.
Okay,
So
that's fine. Okay.
You want to move it?
Yeah.
Basically, it's a glass prison basically with this orb and this female wantee inside.
It's a glass prism of motion. Okay. They'll try to attack it one at a time here.
Okay.
I don't know.
13 does not hit. No.
What? Oh, okay. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. Next
Bonk right off the
one.
glass. All right,
21.
roll damage.
6.
There are chips in the glass.
Okay, I got 1, 2, 3 left here.
That
20.
hits. All right,
8.
more chips in the glass. Means crack a little bit.
And 18.
That hits. Yep.
Okay.
All right.
And
Begins
then-
to chip a little bit more.
They're gonna shift around just a little bit, and this one's gonna move and take an attack of opportunity from this guy if he wants to do it.
Okay. Otto Octavius has one of his arms restrained, but the other ones are freed. I will say.
Oh, I see. I guess I didn't even think about him since he was on top of the. Okay. Fuck it. He'll just stay where he's at, and then this one will try to constrict the guy underneath him.
Okay.
8. Nope, doesn't do. Okay.
All right. Can't be restrained anyway. So.
Okay. Well, good to know.
All right. Is that it for the snakes?
Yeah. That's all.
In that case, Octavius is going to burn another legendary action attacking the snake that is attempting to grapple him.
This bottom one. All right.
That is going to be a petrification ray.
DC 16. I don't have saving throws set up for any of these, but I make the DC. So there you go.
DC is 16. Yeah, you make the DC. All right. The snake resists it.
Cool.
All right. Ka's up next.
Kyle will just bite him because fuck him.
Sure.
19.
No.
19 does
Nope.
not hit. Okay. That's it.
Not quite. All right. He bites against the mechanical construct part that makes up his body, and then you can't quite find a connection in the midst of it all. All right, Kurt, you're up.
Kurt will pull out this bow that he slept with overnight and hasn't used before until he'll whisper, "Swift death to you who have wronged me," as he tries to attack Dr. Otto Octavius.
Dr. Otto Octavius is marked.
Yep. Sweet. He's also going to cast Hunter's Mark on him.
Okay.
Do I hold on for hiding? Do I get any awesome shit? I already have advantage, so it wouldn't matter. All right, that's fine. I'll attack him. Oath bow, go. 29.
All right. 29 lands. Yeah, absolutely.
9, and here's Hunter's Mark. Also, since he was my oath person, he takes an extra 3d6.
Yep.
3d6.
All right. So
wow.
9, 4,
19.
6.
Yep.
All right. The arrow pierces into the mechanical part of its side, and he cries out, "Ah!"
It's 20 on the bite.
That
For
hits.
his coordinated attack. There you go.
All right.
And
He is, interestingly, not immune to poison, so
cool.
he takes the full damage. All right.
All done.
All right. Now that you've revealed yourself, Octavius is going to take one of his free arms and fire a spare blast in your direction with his last legendary action. And this one is also going to be a petrification ray.
24.
All right. Yeah, you hard resist. Tuck, you're up.
Hit auto bitch.
All right.
Ready for the wall of text. No.
The staff does a lot of cool shit. Critical miss. Great rendition. Okay. 15 does not land either. Whack, whack. He blocks both of them with one of his mechanical arms.
How's that fucking possible? Holy shit.
Okay, frustrated
There
with
we
the
go.
2 strikes with the new staff, you're like, fuck it. Whack right across the jaw. All right.
Con save.
Con save, he says. He is stunned.
Oh.
Oh shit.
I'm just leaning back in my chair right now. Okay.
Uh-huh.
I'm done.
Yeah,
I'm done. I've done my job.
All right. The remaining chargers. This guy is still slowed. He is going to just move. Shit, what's his movement? Six. No,
I'll let
he
you
can
go.
move 60 feet. He's got enough feet. He's going to move up to next to you, Ken. He's going to attempt to take one of his large lightning arms and slam you. Yeah.
He misses.
He failed to hit the mage.
I didn't even have mage armor on.
This guy is going to shift over, and he's going to slam against Tuck twice. That'll land.
That one will not.
That one won't. All right. So from one of the slams, you take 18 points of damage. This guy down to the south is going to fire 2 electric rays with this other flux charger as the target, and then if it lands, it's going to arc onto you, Tuck. First attack will not land, and neither will the second. It literally shoots past him to some of the nearby walls, and it just gets soaked up into the brass. Excuse me. And then this one appears still feared. Wisdom saves at the end of their turn, starting with the slowed creature. That's a no. And that's a no. All right, no change there. Octavius is stunned and can't do shit. Ken, you're up.
Okay. So Kent's going to move to here. I'm still engaged with the bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And before I really go any further, though, Kent wonders how the hell did Otto get his hands on the Winds of Fate?
You vaguely remember, as you ponder this, meeting with the Dark Lady, the information broker, and finding the note on her stash, and you remember her asking you if at all possible to get a hold of Octavius alive and bring it to her. Otherwise, just take him out, and if possible, recover the winds and bring them back to her. Or rather, I take that back. If you recover the winds, you're allowed to keep them, basically.
Oh, okay, fair enough. All right. And with the wandering over, I'm going to cast Cone of Cold straight through this fucker into the other one.
All right.
And I will spare Will. And this time, if it were going to hit Dr. Connors, I would
Okay.
not hit.
They both fail, so go ahead and just roll damage. You can see Dr. Connors at this point now, so.
I did. Why the hell did I up there? Oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay. You watch as the electricity arcing between these creatures suddenly stops, and they instead become these large frozen statues.
Okay. And with that, oops, sorry.
No. The dice aren't disappearing on my screen. I just got to reload quick. Hang on.
They're still moving. They're alive! Anybody else see that?
No.
Yeah, I see them just moving slightly, slowly. They're just floating around.
What's that?
The die in the middle of the screen.
Oh.
They are still moving.
Yeah.
And I'm
Okay.
going to move to there. And then that will be the end of my turn.
Okay. Will, you're up.
Okay. I can't get rid of these dice on my screen, but all right.
You just reload. I had the same problem.
I'll do that in a moment.
Oh, they're bouncing into each other now.
Whoa! When an unstoppable force meets an immovable object, who will win?
Octavius is he's wearing his harness. Yes.
He's wearing his metallic harness, yes.
Yes. I will drop the heat metal off of the construct and reapply it to his harness.
Okay.
I'm going to cast that at. Yeah, second level's fine.
Okay. He automatically fails and takes the 6 points of damage. Alright, he is stunned, he is burning, he's had better days.
Alright.
Alright.
And I'm going to move. I'm just going to shift this way a little bit.
Okay.
And
Since
yet I
you're
have
up
to run
next.
away from him in fear.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll just run this way.
Alright.
And I'm going to use my Ring of Shooting Stars. I'm actually going to burn 3 charges for the Shooting Stars effect at the very bottom.
Okay.
And I want to put 1 on the construct beside me and 2 on Octavius.
1 to 3 charges, you're burning all 3. For every charge, you launch a glowing mote of light from the ring at a point you can see within 60 feet. Each creature within 15-foot cube, originating from that point, is showered in sparks and must make a DC 15 dex, taking 5d4 fire on a failure or half as much damage on a success. You said a 1 on the one next to you?
Yep, 1 on the one next to me. I want to aim it as far on the other side of him as possible so it doesn't hit me. And then I want to put 2 on this side of Octavius so it doesn't hit my allies.
Okay. These are 15-foot cubes. So you're going to be dropping both of them, what, there?
Like, 1's there.
Okay.
And then
It's going to be hitting 3 snakes there.
that's fine, as long as it doesn't hit. Actually, that's fine. They're snakes. They'll live.
Okay. I need 3 snakes to make a dex save. Because Octavius is stunned, he automatically fails, and then the fella you're next to. 12. Nah, he fails, so he takes full damage.
And since I'm putting 2 at Connors, he gets to take 2 of those.
Yeah, you have to make the dex save again on the snakes. Just to see.
Oh.
Well, hang on. Just do the 5d4 fire damage. In fact, roll 10d4 fire damage for dropping on those.
Oh yeah, might not
4.
even matter.
Yeah.
Ring of Shooting Stars. What the fuck is that?
It's a ring he stole off of Draxon. 25. If that gets halved, it's going to be 12 points of damage, which the snakes might live. So go ahead and roll dexterity saves for the other snakes then again, second time.
Who's Drax? Oh shit! No. Half of 25 is what?
Justin was Draxon.
Yeah,
Half
I know.
25 rounded down would be 12. Your snakes have 13 hit points, so they have a
They
chance
sure
to live.
do.
So one of them passes, though.
Succeed, failure. All right, so 2. So the ones who succeed, each of them succeed once, and each of them fail once.
So they're all down to 1 HP.
The first 5d4, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 points of damage on the first set of 5d4. You had those 2 fail.
I'm so confused.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and that one succeed, taking only 6. And then the other one succeed, taking half damage on the final 5d4. The other one fails, taking 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 there. So actually all 3 snakes are dead.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Regardless, they were dead.
So,
What do I know?
well, if the other one succeeded the second
Yeah,
time, then it would have been
that's
fine. But
Okay.
all right, repeat the wisdom save.
What?
You repeat the wisdom save at the end of your turn to see if you shake off the fear.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, did you roll for big boy over here too?
Yeah, he failed. So roll the 5. I'm sorry, roll the 5d4 for him as well.
Oh, not 1d5, damn it. There we go.
All right, he takes 13 points.
Alright, and
All right.
then here's my wisdom save.
DC is 16, so no, you're still afraid.
I figured.
Tegan, you're up.
Okay, so I probably will never get a chance to do this again anyway. I'm going to have a little fun. I'm going to look at
32
Dr. Octavius, and
Panthers, God.
he's not far off.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I'm going to look at Dr. Octavius and say, 8 arms, huh? All right, well, I can match that. Wakanda forever.
What are you summoning?
How many is that now?
3 times as many with a 7th level slot. So if he were to go 1 challenge, 1 4 or lower, he could literally summon 24 creatures.
Yep, it'll be 24 Panthers.
24 Panthers.
Jesus fucking Christ.
I love you.
How about you not put the... You're putting the tokens!
4,
Yo, you
5,
have to.
6,
What a hero.
7, 8,
What an absolute
9,
hero.
10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18,
Wakanda forever.
21, 22.
Y'all did hear me say that, right?
24.
Yeah.
Yes, we did.
Okay. I can't tell when my push to talk's working or not.
Yeah, it's working.
Yeah, we heard you.
You sounded like
All right.
Rabbi Geber there. Oi, Wakanda forever.
Roll initiative.
Oh my god.
If you go before him, they all get attacks with advantage.
I just imagine him falling from the sky and just a pile of panthers.
21.
Initiative of 21 to go right before Tegan.
Oh, man.
How does that rule work, by the way? I've been curious since we started playing.
I thought summons, if they're higher than the rest of the initiatives, they go right into the initiative order.
It says roll initiative for the summoned creatures as a group, which has its own turns. Which
Correct.
keep within the initiative. We keep within the initiative order. So Tegan has initiative at 20. We're on initiative count 20. We descend down until we hit 0, and then the initiative count resets to whatever the highest initiative rolled is.
So
if he rolls a 20,
Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
so if they roll a 21, then they miss this particular round because their initiative is higher.
Okay, no,
Which
I was
is weird.
Which
is weird. Which is weird. I'll admit, but that's how the rules is.
That's right. When you summon, you want it to actually be lower because then it'll go after you. But since it's higher, it'll start next round.
Right.
I've been curious since he did that the first time, and I'm sitting here thinking to myself, look, I'm no rule designer, but as a rule, that doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, it's kind of an odd rule, but that's the raw rules is written.
So I'd like to thank Killing by making me 13 so I could actually finally cast that spell the way I've been wanting to do it.
God. But the trade-off, of course, is that when the initiative count starts, your characters go first. So, or second or whatever. So, all right, you summon Wakanda. Just all of Wakanda.
All of Wakanda.
Yep.
I assume you're done.
Oh, by the way, the concentration's gone away. By the way.
Oh, yep. Okay.
I'll give you that.
Wakanda forever.
I feel generous.
I'll give you that.
So much for making this an interesting fight. Wow. Talk about owning the competition. All right, the snakes are next. The last we kind of left off, they were all kind of whacking away at the glass.
Well, they're now all just gonna try and constrict him. I think one's still constricting him. But
Yeah.
and here we go.
Wouldn't they just? Never mind.
Constrict.
No, no, and no.
So does he continue to grapple
But-
him until he breaks free, or how does that work? Because I have no idea.
Until the grapple ends, which is either you end it or he ends it.
Wait.
Okay.
I will say that you still have advantage on those attacks, so just roll 3 more times.
Nice.
Yes.
See, he is still stunned.
I forgot.
Still no.
And this last one is just gonna bite the guy below him.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nope.
Well, got all my good rolls out of the way for tonight.
All right. Ka's up next.
Okay. Ka will bite.
Okay. Yeah, that'll hit. I assume that's against Dr. Octavius.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay. All right. He resists the worst of the poison, but he still takes the damage otherwise.
Cool. And then it is
Your turn.
turn on advantage. I'm attacking with my bow.
Okay. Uh, 18 does not hit, I'm afraid.
I'm gonna use a lucky actually to roll a d20. Yeah, fuck. All right. Well, that was a waste.
Well, that makes it 18 plus whatever your attack bonus is, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, you're right. 18 plus 3 plus 2 plus 5. So that would probably hit, I'd imagine. If it's
18 plus 10 would be 28. Yes, that would land.
Okay. There's that damage.
All right.
Hunter's mark.
Mm-hmm.
And roll 3.
Bridget von Hunter's Mark.
Yes. The bow finds your mortal enemy and strikes into him.
Plus Ka will bite him for a crit.
Natural 20. All right. No on the con save. He takes all of it.
But
Octavius is already looking pretty bad off, especially after that stun. All right.
I'm all done.
All right. Tuck, you're up next.
Hit him again. Where the hell did I put the thing? There it is.
Actually, before my turn ends, I'm gonna move my character, but then I'm done.
Sure. All right. 23 lands. Remember that you still have advantage on the attacks as well.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Not into the wall of panthers. Good God.
22 lands as well. Quack. Yes. He's looking really, really bludgeoned at this point. The metallic is beginning to kind of tear off, and you can see the loose bits of spark that kind of made up his face before. All right. You bludgeon hard into his stunned ass.
And flurry of blows.
All right. Whipping out the cock. It bangs against hard metal and bruises it.
There's like
Whipping out the cock.
There's like a thud. Ding.
Thud. So I hit with my first unarmed strike. So I'm going to try and knock him back 15 feet. Strength save.
Okay.
Would he fail because he's stunned?
Automatically fails strength and dex saves, so yes.
So that means that I and 2
15
snakes.
feet. You, 2
And
snakes,
Ka.
and 2 panthers.
2 panthers.
You, 2 snakes, Ka, and 2 panthers get attacks of opportunity against him.
How does
advantage.
how does knockback and grapple work together?
Oh, you know what? He's restrained, so he doesn't get knocked back.
Oh,
Sorry.
fuck.
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
I was hoping the snake just flew with him, but I understand the way that it worked.
That snake's a little too big. All right. At the end of your turn, Octavius is no longer stunned. Next is these fellas' turns. This one all the way up here is going to look around at the nearby Panthers, look around and over towards Tegan's direction. And you're too far away. All right, he's just going to slam against the Panthers, starting with 1. That'll hit. All right, one of the Panthers goes down. Second attack. 14 does land. And another Panther goes down. He takes out 2 of the Panthers next to him. Those 2 are icicles. This fella next here, taking 2 of his arms, is going to slam against you, Tuck. 21 land. 27 points of damage.
Yep.
Second attack. 25. 24 points of damage. I'll let you adjust your hit points.
Yeah. 2.
Do you remember that line in Jurassic World where they're like, "We're going to need more teeth"?
Mm.
He doesn't have enough teeth.
All right. At the end of their turn, Octavius is immediately going to burn a reaction to activate his ATTS, ending the heat metal effect on him. And then he is also going to burn a legendary action to fire a ray at Dr. Connor's direction.
I'm sorry. He activated his what?
The same
His
thing.
anti-douche defense system, basically the thing that ends heat metal on him. He added that the second after you faced him the first time and basically knocked him unconscious with it.
This isn't Champions. You can't just make stuff up. What spell is being cast? Is it dispel magic?
No, it's an effect he had added as part of his mechanical construct body.
After you hit him with it the first game.
After you hit him with it the first game. In fact, when you fought against him with Dritz, it's something he activated. It's something he's had for a little while now. Basically, whenever he gets hit by a fire attack, such as heat metal, he can, as a reaction, gain resistance against that spell, which he can't, but he burned a reaction to end a persistent effect. And then he is targeting Dr. Connors with a slowing ray. Listen, the alternative is I gave him an anti-magic ray that a beholder has, and that's a lot more powerful by comparison, so... Alright, you succeed on the dex save, you completely ignored the effects. Alright, on his turn, he's going to start by firing a ray over in Tegan's direction, 1 in Dr. Connor's direction, and 1 in Tuck's direction. Starting against Tegan, you're taking a death ray. Dex save.
It wasn't disintegration. Be happy.
Yeah, what if he drops to 0 HP, he dies instantly?
Yeah, but I mean, he can't be brought back to life.
That's also true.
Yeah, if he was disintegrated, he wouldn't be able to. Not necessarily. Nope. Alright.
Gonna use my luck.
Yeah. You take 48 points of necrotic. And you would also have to make a con save. Half damage of 48 is 24. If you can make a con higher than 24, a con save higher than 24, you can keep your Panthers. Otherwise, I'm afraid you lose them.
No, I'm re-rolling my luck.
Yeah.
Oh, I see. I see. So go ahead and re-roll that dex save then. I didn't know you had lucky.
Wow, I know.
Wah, wah. Yeah, you burned up your luck.
What do I need to roll to keep my
Con
Panther?
save.
24. Constitution saving throw, 24 or higher.
I don't think I can even hit that. But...
No. I'm afraid Wakanda is not quite as forever as you hoped.
It was still beautiful, though.
It was beautiful while it worked. But that's the last thing Otto Octavius wants to deal with is 24 fucking Panthers all at once. And then the second ray is going to be at Dr. Connors. This one is going to be a Petrification Ray, dex save. No, you resist it. All right, last ray is against Tuck. This one is a Telekinetic Ray, strength save. I don't think you get advantage on this.
No, I hadn't turned off advantage yet.
Okay, we're going to say 14 feet. So he is...
Hang on.
You roll a 14 then.
Nope. I will add a die of Bardic Inspiration to that.
All right, go for it.
A D10 at this point?
Mm-hmm. Yep. So basically anything but a 1. All right. You resist the effects with Will cheering you on. You're well-focused, having been bolstered by your friend. The power of friendship overwhelms. Can't you're up.
Oh.
Did I? Yeah, I did. Never mind.
Track that.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't remember if I went with Flux Charger's turns. I did.
Oh, fuck. I want to do one of two things, but I'm going to do it anyway.
Ooh. All right. Huh. Well, this is interesting. Kent, as you shoot your beam of energy, he's too busy paying attention to all the animals around him. You turn, and he turns and faces you, and you hear, "Oh, Scheiße." Dr. Otto Octavius, as he gets pelted by your disintegration ray, is nothing more than a pile of ash on the floor.
It worked! It worked!
As I bound forward, the snakes disappear, and I begin beating on the gem, trying to open it.
Okay, I'll say for the sake of time then that these remaining flux chargers deactivate.
Oh, I totally forgot they were a thing. Never mind. Sorry.
I'll say for the sake of ease because they're sucking as it is anyway, and I kind of want to get a comment and see how this goes.
Sucking. Okay.
All right, you bang hard on it, taking Iron Fang to the glass. The glass breaks open. As the glass breaks open, you can see sitting inside is this orb with winds kind of swirling around it, and a very unconscious-looking female Wanti. Pure blood.
I'm okay. I'll drag her out and assess her illness. She's unconscious, I guess.
She's unconscious. She looks very worn.
Is she clothed? If she's not, I'm gonna take my coat off and put it over her.
She is clothed. The clothing is a little bit tattered, but it covers her.
I'll use Cure Wounds on her to make sure she's all right.
Okay.
10.
As you lay down, you focus your healing powers. The rest of you kind of taking in your surroundings, and as you take the time to kind of gauge what's going on, she opens her eyes, looks up at you, and she says, "Is that the noise you make?"
What? That wasn't me.
Okay. She looks up at you and jeez.
Whoever did that, great timing though.
Oh, shit. She looks up at you, your friends being assholes in the background, and she says, I didn't think you'd be here. I'm so tired.
Rest. There's plenty of time for talking later. Don't waste your breath.
I had come along to see you in Red Larch to give you something, but I don't know. She reaches into her couch, and her arms are shaking, but she's holding a glass vial, inside of which is a liquid that radiates transmutation magic.
Where did you get this?
Hi. Our family has great connections in Silvery Moon. I made a friend with an adventuring company. They got a hold of this for me.
As an alchemist, do I know what it is? I mean, I'm guessing I know what it is, but I want you to say it out loud.
It is a potion of true polymorph, specifically tuned to humanoid forms. Anybody who drinks this could transform themselves permanently into any humanoid form they choose.
It's just the wrong time to try cast Mage Hand and grab the potion.
Maybe the wrong time. How did... I'll just ask her. How did you get turned into a Yanti as well?
She says, "This," he said, "absorbs essence, souls. One tea, yes, more resistant to magical effects like these."
I don't follow. She got turned into a Yanti because it absorbs magical effects, or what?
She shares with you that the orb, the
Oh,
hand of
the
fate,
orb. I thought I was...
No.
Okay.
She shares with you that the hand of fate draws upon the essence of souls, draws upon basically the essence of who you are as a person. And she got turned into a 1T by Dr. Otto Octavius to serve as sort of a battery. The reason she got turned into a 1T is because 1T are naturally more resistant to magical effects.
I spit on his ashes.
Therefore, her essence could constantly be drawn from, at least for unlimited bursts without killing her essentially.
Well, I'm sure with enough time and help from your friends in Silvery Moon, we can replicate this potion, and then we can both be free of this curse.
I hope so.
Me too.
Or and hear me out now. I could be something other than a drow.
Hey, I'll look over and the music, the violin music in the background stops, and I'll be like, "Hey, fuck yourself!" And then it comes back on. I'm trying to have a moment. Okay. So I'll kind of like pick her up in my arms and like hold her and say, we have to take her. I'm not gonna fire me and hold her, but
yeah,
baby cradle.
You kind of cradle her as much as you can in your arms, standing up, and she just kind of passes out.
Is there a lot of slippage when one UNT holds another UNT? I mean, like, you're not going to drop her on the floor, I hope.
Now the scales will hold her.
Yeah.
Wait, what did I miss?
I saved the girl.
Well, I know you say the girl, but
I picked her up in my arms, and he goes, "Are you gonna drop her because you're both made of scales?"
she passed out. So
Yeah.
what did she do? Not like the look of your face or something?
What? No.
No, she's just been put through a lot.
Oh, okay. She passed out from exhaustion. Okay. All right, that's the part I was trying to figure out. I was like, wait, what the hell?
She's suffering from exhaustion or something.
Okay. Yeah. Let's get out of here, Kent. And we have to rest before we can, right? Fuck. All right. Well, let's find a place to stay for the night.
I'm going to search Dr. Octavius, and his construct.
What's left of him?
Well, if it was any kind of magic weapon, it wouldn't have gotten disintegrated. Or item. Hold on.
You'll find a large glob of my saliva mixed in.
Yeah.
I'm afraid that anything Octavius had in his possession was mechanical in nature and disintegrated with the ray.
I'm going to search his construct.
The construct itself is this large mechanical construct that appears to have been thoroughly trashed by you and your compatriots and is disabled. The only thing that really stands out as being specifically noteworthy was the Winds of Fate itself.
Which
and I'll add for your benefit, which you now have.
Right.
The way the Winds of Fate work is it has, and I forgot to write this in, but it has 10 charges, which recharge after 30 days of in-game time. You can burn one of those charges to essentially re-roll a die, whether that be for an attack roll, an ability check, anything like that, for whoever possesses it. However, if you choose to do so, it it draws a portion of your soul, and you have to make a con save with a DC of 20. If you succeed, nothing happens. If you fail, you suffer a point of exhaustion. Alternatively, you can draw 2 cards from the deck of many things and pick which one you want to happen. If you choose to do that, there is no con save. You automatically take the exhaustion.
Can I ask you guys a quick question? And this is totally out of character. Because this campaign's going on for quite some time, and I really had no intention of going after Obark and just straight up killing ourselves. And, you know, as of right now, our characters are still alive. We've got a guild hall being built in Wamford. You know, would it just not be maybe a good idea to retire back to Red Larch and maybe save something for later if Killy ever wanted to jumpstart these characters again?
Yeah, we can. I don't care.
And
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
that's up to
if
you,
the-
Killy. I have no idea if you ever intend on doing anything else with this, but this is what I will. Go ahead.
The general rule of thumb basically was I had one more big module for you guys to play through if you chose to chase after work. There would be a little bit of time in between, so there would be basically some months of in-game time that would pass through downtime where certain things would happen based on whatever you choose to happen, and you basically have to try to research to figure out where in the heck he is, and then we would move on to that module, and then after the end of that module would basically be the end of the campaign. As far as anything else these characters would do, I would add in tidbits here and there as far as this is what happens to you, and you can I'll have you maybe make a couple of die rolls, and then that's kind of going to be it for the campaign. And depending on how things go, I might throw in an individual one of these characters as part of the other campaign down the line somewhere, or a facsimile of it. I don't know, but I don't. I don't have any specific plans to really jumpstart anything with these characters going forward.
Well, if I had to vote, and if we get a say in that, I would say that we don't go after Obark right now. And maybe let this campaign come to a close for now.
Well, let me ask you this. When would you prefer to go after Obark, if at all?
I don't know. What do you want to do as DM, or what are the other plans that we
It's
have?
basically, do you want to go after him after, like, if you want to spend research trying to go after him and then go after him, or do you not? That's basically it. Because it's as far as whether it happens tomorrow, as far as this campaign goes, or whether it happens 2 years of in-game time down the line, this campaign can still go.
Right. Well, it's up to you guys. What do you want, though?
I have an idea. If there's an urge to try out some different characters, that's great. I've had some interesting ideas come to mind myself. I wouldn't mind playing out. How about that? How about this? As part of our research to locate or prepare for our encounter with Obark, we need some MacGuffin, whether it's information or an object or something. So we put out a call for adventurers, and that will be the hook that draws our second group together.
Oh man, that's great. That is fantastic.
That's
And-
actually a really good idea.
and it would tie the two groups together in a fundamental way. And it would allow interaction between the two groups on a limited basis. It also foster continuity between the two groups and the two campaigns, and thereby making it, I think, a little easier for Killy because
It was like, this is easy.
some of it's already established. Look, I'm just spitballing here. This is just an idea I had on the spot. So you guys tell me what you think.
So just to confirm this, right? There's a lot of stuff within the narrative context of the game that we can do. It's basically for the sake of this play session. We can add in all the narrative stuff after the fact. It's basically, do you want to go after Obark or do you not want to go after Obark? Basically, do you want to do this last module that I have for you or do you not? Because if you don't, then we'll just move on to Miles' campaign.
All right.
Mine will last like 3, maybe 4 sessions. So we could do that as a break and then come back and finish up with Obark.
Well, you know what, Kill? That may.
I just.
Good.
Yes or no. Yes or no. Those are the questions. Yes, we want to go after Obark, or no. Because if the answer is yes, we'll say, however much time has passed within in-game time.
No, I know. It's not actual time. I get it. I get what you're saying.
Yeah, I absolutely want to go after Obark. I want to know that my master was freed.
Yeah, I guess I'm down with that.
I still want to stab him.
It's a moral imperative for Will.
Okay.
He's going after Obark.
Okay.
I'm hoping everyone goes.
Okay. All right. Tuck, Tegan?
What I heard was that someone wants to recruit players and need an object. I think you need a flying castle.
That's going to be somewhere else. Sorry.
Dang it, come on!
Alright, so that's basically...
The Lord's Alliance has jurisdiction over that, and we haven't gotten into that point of the campaign.
Not over the airspace.
So
my pirating evil ass sorcerer doesn't care who has. He's the one on it right now.
Technically, the cloud giant has control over. All right, Tuck. Yeah, I assume you want to go after Obark with your friends, or you're muted in Discord, by the way.
Conversing with myself again. Of course.
Well,
Okay.
why aren't you?
So
I hate shit. Just the point.
So as we kind of go through, there's a couple of things I need to basically take control of here. So over the course of several months that take place, so as you try to research where he is, what's going on, all that stuff. Over the course of that time, Kent, the construction of Wamford/Kentarnville begins to grow into full development over the course of several months, the development to maybe the course of a couple of years. Now, as far as the handling of the Mage Tower and everything, the final construction of that was going to finish out at, what did I say it was before, 50,000?
I don't think it was quite that high, but...
No, because he could pay for it with his 25,000 gems, so it wasn't that much.
Yeah.
Well, he reserved, I think, 5,000 for the land, and then the construction of the tower itself would be.
I think you put it somewhere around like 30,000, but I'm not 100% sure. I would have to go back and look. I thought that was the case. I don't think you said all 50.
Right.
Because if it was all 50, it would have to be one hell of a Mage Tower.
Right.
It definitely wasn't, I remember.
It's 15,000.
15,
okay.
Yeah, that makes sense.
And I would assume that by the time that the time has passed, I would have actually been able to actually sell those gems for the actual gold that they were worth.
Right.
Okay, so 20,000 out of 50,000 leaves me with, let's say, 25,000.
Okay. So, over the course of this point of time, then you have now, after several months, you have access to a full-fledged Mage Tower within what was the remains of Wamford. It's well kept, and it actually has a couple of apprentices that either you have taken on yourself over time, I will say, up to you, or the Lord's Alliance can probably assign different individuals that are under training and research to basically help you out around the tower. From there, otherwise, the guild hall finishes its construction. You guys have made your home within this city. Now, that being said, the remaining nobleman of Lumpford still wants to retain the name and still wants to retain the lordship, but because of your aid in dispatching the elemental cults, there is an argument to be made before the Lord's Alliance for its change. So you can choose to pay 1,500 gold to name yourself basically nobleman and steward of Wamford. And you'll have to make a persuasion check because you're basically arguing it against the Wamford nobles, the remaining one. And if you choose to go higher and pay 2,500 gold, then you can make that roll with advantage.
Oh, we're going 2,500 gold, baby.
Okay, 2,500.
That
So
wasn't even that much.
2,500 gold, and roll a persuasion check with advantage.
All right, hold on. Persuasion. Oh.
I just posted in the chat. Everyone gets 8,375 gold. That's just splitting what we have right now in party treasure.
Okay.
That's another distribution. That's a 6-way split. So that includes a share for isn't.
Wow.
Okay. Unfortunately, a 14 is not quite high enough.
Okay.
The Wamford family taps into kind of its reserves to retain stewardship of the city.
That's okay, but I want to make something clear to the Wamford family. It was not meant as an insult in any way. I did not know that there were any noble folk left of the town when I initially had started my plan, and even though it didn't.
It's actually just the one. He's a younger man. Looks like maybe he's in his 30s. He's a little on the overweight side, and kind of has the facial resemblance of kind of a mouse, and it's kind of a sketchy looking fella.
Well, sketchy looking as he may be, I would like to say to him, you will have no problems with your rule as long as it is just and, you treat the subjects that live here with us with, fairness.
No problem at all.
I don't trust him. He looks like a mouse.
And then from there, if you wish to argue for a change in the name from Wamford to Kentarnville, that's going to be another 1,500 or 2,500 with advantage.
No, I'll let that one go.
Okay, so it retains. Wamford. You do not get Kentarnville. It stays as Wamford. You are. I will say you're granted a noble position, which grants you certain rights and privileges, especially in regards to owning the location that you do, as well as the guild. But you don't gain otherwise special privileges over the city of Wamford itself as it begins to reconstruct. So
fair enough.
While the rest of this is going on, over the course of several months, Tuck, your dick has begun to shrunk quite considerably. In fact, you're not really able to tie it around your waist anymore, and so you kind of had to tie it in a small knot and bottle it up, so to speak. You cut out there.
This is upsetting.
But it's something that's certainly staying on your radar.
Mm-hmm.
Aside from that, those of you with specific connections, particularly Tuck and Tegan, you get occasional contacts checking in on your research and providing you aid in trying to discern where Obark's location may actually be. Dr. Connors, I have to specify, do you take the potion that Sharwin has given you?
Only if we can make another one for her first, using whatever ingredients were in it, and maybe contacting the other people.
Okay. Between you and Sharwin, you'll get in contact with other members of Silvery Moon, and as stories of your deeds begin to reach some of the higher courts of the city, You can go ahead and make a persuasion check with advantage, because Sharwin's basically vouching for you, as well as Sir Bradford and everything else.
Cool.
They're willing to part with one, but for no less than 7,000 gold.
For no less than roll 1d20 plus 5. Fuck me. 7,000 gold. Okay, I mean, I'm an alchemist. Could I not just make another one?
You can, yeah, it's a very high DC, but you can try. If it fails, I will say you get transformed into something else completely at random. It's a very dangerous and difficult process to make.
He's considering.
I really am. Yeah, sure. What? How are you randomizing?
Basically, So Tegan has an ability, I think it's called Rebirth, that will randomize somebody if they die into a new humanoid form.
Oh, perfect. That's all I needed to hear. Yeah, I'm gonna try it. So I'll try to make one based on hers. What's
Hold
the
on a second. You have to pay me 1,000 gems if you want me to have that in reserve.
No. We would use your table. You don't
We would
actually
use your
have to
table,
cast it.
and I'll add that it's a little bit
okay.
homebrewed, so I will be adding some of the more monstrous races as part of your roll if you fuck this up.
Well, if all else fails, I'll borrow some.
So that's the spell.
Yeah. Okay.
So make a check with your alchemist tools.
What's the DC?
22.
22? What? I can't even hit 22. That's not a thing.
Wait,
Alchemist
you
tools are intelligence plus proficiency. I guess I could, but I only have a +1 in intelligence. Oh man, whatever.
Would guidance help you?
Yeah, it would probably.
500 gold, please.
I'll.
Are you giving him 500 gold so he casts fucking guidance on you?
Yeah, sure, whatever.
I'm not.
All right.
Okay.
Plus a D4, and I get advantage for being an alchemist. So here we go.
Oh, so
Funny.
Roll 1d4. 23, baby. Unforeseen.
It is the masterpiece of a lifetime. You managed to create one on your own.
Don't ever ask me to do that again. That was my heart was racing, my hands were shaking.
if you had been turned into a gnome, I would have laughed my ass off.
Well, hello, guys.
Hey, I'm going back to Will's little post about how much gold we got. How much is that in platinum? Because I don't really want to put 8,000
Divide by
gold.
10.
Divide by 10.
Okay, it's all right.
Yeah, most of my money on my sheet is in platinum.
Yeah,
just
same.
because otherwise the weight gets out of control.
You have 8,000 pounds in gold. What?
To be fair, we really haven't been tracking that from the beginning.
Right, the weight.
Yeah, we have. Oh no, not the weight. No.
The gold, yes, but the weight no. Okay. Yeah. So I'll give Sharwin the original, and I'll drink the one I did.
Okay.
And,
So in that case, what are you turning yourself into?
well, I guess my whole storyline was I wanted to be a human, so I guess I'll say human.
Okay. In that case, we're going to lose all the racial benefits of being a 1T.
Yeah.
Which means...
Yeah, but I can get another. What's that one thing? Anyways, go on.
So decrease your charisma by 1. You'll still get the +1 for being a human.
Hold on. Just 1 sec.
Your intelligence is going to change because you got a +1 as a 1T anyway.
There's a.
In the first
looking
fight,
for-
your fucking arm's going to get cut off, and you're going to be like, God damn it, why wasn't I a fucking snake man?
Right.
So,
I'm
you're
looking for a human variant because it gives you different. It's like slightly different, but it's the one I want.
right.
Okay, hold on.
Oh, you want to
Oh,
vary it?
it's
Okay.
it's two different ability scores of your choice increased by
Your choice
one.
increased
You
by
get
one.
proficiency in one skill of your choice, and you get a feat.
Okay,
So what
in that
was
case,
Yanti?
so decrease your charisma by 2 and your intelligence by 1.
Yanti. I don't see the. I know you're telling me what it is, but I just want to look at it as well. I'm sorry.
If I
charisma
copy
by
paste it,
2,
I don't know you'll be able
intelligence
to.
by 1. I found it. Yep.
Okay.
All
So
right.
that happens. Your speed's not going to change. You lose dark vision.
2. Intelligence by 1. Yeah, I lose dark vision.
That's no
You
laughing matter,
lose.
by the way.
Yeah. You lose poison spray, animal friendship, and suggestion. All those racial innate spellcasting bits.
That's fine.
You lose your poison immunity and you lose your magic resistance.
Yeah. I'm trying to
And
figure
then
out how
as
to
a
get rid of all
variant.
these.
Yep.
There we go.
And then when you get to variant, 2 different scores of your choice go up by 1. You gain proficiency in a skill of your choice, and you gain a feat of your choice. So I'll let you work on that. By the way, give yourselves the benefits of a long rest if you haven't already. Restore your hit points and everything, since this will take place over the several days and all that jazz.
Right. Real fast.
And
Crow, you're going to be back for next week, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just checking.
okay.
It really depends on what we're doing for next.
Well, if we're going after Obark, then we're starting this module.
Yep, fair enough.
Okay, so we're not making new tunes for next week.
Not yet.
Okay.
Yeah, we're doing this. So
Okay, all right. That's why that's where I kind of lost the conversation. I didn't know what.
right. So there'll be some narrative stuff in between that I'm touching kind of a little bit on that now, and then there might be some stuff we throw in the midst as part of a new campaign. Say that you throw a call out, maybe that'll land in a couple of other campaigns somewhere here or there, everywhere. The Diamond Bears kind of begin to establish themselves as a name at this point, especially close to Waterdeep for beginning adventurers, and they begin to kind of wander out looking specifically for any references or details for Obark in particular.
So time wise, from this moment now to next week when we're going after Open, how much game time is going to pass? You said something about we're going to do research and try to figure some stuff
Like a
out.
month or two?
I'll say it's probably closer to 6 months, at least.
Okay.
Maybe closer.
Okay.
Okay.
I have some. Well, I was gonna say is I was gonna go. I would like to use at least half of those 6, maybe to go into the Fae to discuss maybe looking at learning some different druid ships. I'll talk to you offline. Kind of an idea I have. Probably won't be able to complete it, but it's just a thought.
We still have a little bit of time, so I'd like to touch at least a little bit on the new module.
Okay.
Okay.
So, unless you guys want to really call it early and start it next week, it's up to you.
Well, real fast, and this is just to add. I'm gonna go back through the old episodes, specifically where we had spells and spell books, and I'm gonna get a hold of you and figure out gold cost and white cost for copying them into my spell book.
Okay.
Okay.
I have 2 spell books written down as far as what's in them. I just call them Spellbook 1 and Spellbook 2. That we've picked up since we started the Temple of Elemental Evil, or the not Temple of Elemental Evil, but the Princes of the Apocalypse.
Do me a favor. Can you just, when you get a chance, can you just cut and paste what spells were in them, and like just hit me up in Discord with them? Like copy and paste the actual list of the ones that were there.
Yeah, if you could just post it in like the D&D chat channel or something.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh, that was fast.
Okay. So while you're doing that, while you're talking about the druid ships, you can talk to me, I guess, or send me a text or something offline if you don't want to share it with the rest of the group.
No, I need it. I'm not home. I don't have it looked up.
Okay, that's fine.
That's my only issue. I'd have to look it up and send it to you.
Okay. Since this, I will say there's a couple more things before we close, but if we want to try to set up specific detail, are you going to be able to look that stuff up before next week?
Yeah, I have it already looked up. It's written down at my desk at the house.
I gotcha. Okay. So, before we move on, then, over the course of this research period, while you're doing that sort of thing's happening. One more thing isn't you get another contact from a drow wielding that strange firearm that you saw before, inquiring
just
about
gonna
how
say.
things are going. Yeah, exactly. Who's inquiring about how things are going? Passes along a message, and you are told that Jarlaxle will be staying in Waterdeep for the time being aboard a ship called the Maiden's Fair, and whenever it's possible, he would love to meet with you again.
Well, if this is gonna be a 6-month gap, I would like to try and make a trek there and back within that time frame.
Okay. That's going to come up in the next campaign.
Okay.
But shoot, is there anything else over the course of this period of time that you guys specifically would like to do or shoot for or take care of during the course of this downtime?
Will would like to have a concert, like an evening with Will Ferrell Beethoven, that everyone can come to and watch him perform his epics, his music, tell a few jokes, recant some of our adventures in his inimitable style.
Sure.
And
I'll say
he'll have notices posted at all the towns on the map and the fort, whatnot. Anyone who wants to come,
sure.
I'll
say 150 gold for advertisement, and then go ahead and make a performance check to see how much you're earning back.
Okay, hold on.
Okay. Sizable group. Has drawn at least a couple of noblemen, you think, from Waterdeep. Over the course of the night, you make 500 gold back.
All right, so I net plus 400. Nice.
Mm-hmm.
No, yeah.
Net plus 350.
Oh,
150,
right.
150 for
Oh,
advertising.
150. I thought you said 100. Okay. Out of that 350, how much ended up getting spent on supplies for the rebuilding and resupply of the town?
If you're dumping it all in the town, then I'll say you retain 75 gold for yourself, and the rest of it goes towards rebuilding Red Larch.
Yeah, we'll call it I'll donate it all to the town. We'll call it a benefit for the
benefit
people
concert.
A benefit concert for the town.
Okay. In that case, that gets a lot of attention, and especially from the noblemen. And if it's going to be a benefit concert, then as a show of their good house and their good name, that helps actually quite tremendously to invest back into Red Larch and begin to help build it back up again.
Great, beautiful.
Okay, Kent, are you back? No, okay. Anything else you guys want to touch upon or add as part of the downtime that occurs over this?
Yeah, I'm feeling as though I might have Shrek'd myself here, as where when the curse is supposed to be lifted and she turns out she's an ogre all along.
Actually, she's quite beautiful.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Maybe I'll just stay this guy because I don't really think I want any of these feats.
You choose to stay as a snake man?
I think so. I mean, I know that kind of defeats everything that I stand for, but
his happiness was inside him all along.
Exactly.
Recalling the words of recalling the words of Dritstogurton.
Yeah.
You make a conscious choice to stay who you are and not let what you are define you.
Well, I'm glad I just deleted all those things off my character sheet that I now need to add back. But I'm just glad that Sharwin is happy.
She's happy, and she's
hopefully she can learn how to find my penis inside of my weird little hole that people like me have.
She actually had to return back to Silvery Moon after some time. She keeps She sends letters back to you every once in a while to kind of check up on you and see how you're doing. But
Stringing me along. All right, let me. Put this
well,
shit
to
back
be fair to you, to be fair to her rather, she traveled in the effort of delivering this potion to turn you back into a human, which
She
she
is pretty
thought
cool.
is what you wanted to.
Yeah.
She got ambushed, lost a finger, got turned into a snake woman herself, and after all of that, and after having created a second potion and turning herself back, it turns out you never wanted the potion she brought along for you in the first place.
Yeah, I mean that could really be a deal breaker. I can see how that. I guess we'll just have to go our separate ways and never meet ever again. Am I right, Sharwin?
She's gone. You say that to a wall.
I- awesome. Good. Okay.
So, over the course of your study, over the course of your research,
Yeah. Hey, can I try to mass produce this in some way? Like try to really refine it, mass produce it, and start my own shop over the 6 months?
the material is pretty hard to come by.
Yeah. Well, when everyone's special, nobody is. Am I right?
Okay, Syndrome, calm the fuck down.
A future possible narrative to explore, but
Yeah.
as you continue your research, as you invest along, as you study along, it eventually becomes clearer and clearer that the location that you believe Obark has retreated to with the shard, with the Heart of Darkness, is the location of an old tomb, an ancient tomb, a tomb of Hars.
Oh, hey. You don't say. Well, if this is where we're going, you don't want me to go because I literally just ran this, and this is going to be the one that I was going to run you guys through.
Okay,
So,
I was curious about it, but
yeah. So I will let you guys run this, and I will watch because it's going to be hilarious to me. So good luck.
Wait, did you say it's the
What
one
did I
you
just
you were
miss?
going to run for us, Miles?
Yeah, this is the one that I had prepared for you guys, the Tomb of Horrors. So I pretty
Oh.
much know all the traps because I just had to read them all. And by traps, I mean monsters, not traps at all. Nothing's trapped.
Well,
So,
wah wah wah.
Yeah, it's okay. This is gonna be really, really funny for me. So please, please proceed.
so
I would still
what
like to be
I'll-
there for your damage, though.
Yeah. So you'll be able to move your character, Miles.
Sure.
But
I won't chime in or anything. You're good.
if you can manage at least that much, that's how we'll run it.
Yeah, that's fine.
So,
Well, what are we gonna do for your one-off then? If this was going to be your one-off?
I'll find something else.
and we'll run this, and then the campaign will end. And I think we'll just move on to Dragon Heist then, unless Miles wants to really look for something else.
Or we
We'll
can
see.
move off to Dragon Heist. It's up to you, Miles.
I mean, we'll have time to go through this, so I'll think about it in the meantime.
If you decide you don't want to try to run something else, then we'll just move on.
So once we retire this group, we starting at level 1 again?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Basically, this is the last module. Then it has. I'll say this ahead of time. It's a thinking man's dungeon. There are monsters, but not very many. Instead, the dungeon is built mostly with traps in mind, and there are plenty of things. And I'm going to be probably running this a little differently than you, Miles. So, but there are plenty of things in this dungeon which will instantly kill you if you're not careful.
Cool.
Okay, did I miss anything good other than what you just said? I heard that.
Nothing specific.
Nope.
This is the one shot that Miles was going to run, as it turns out. So we're going to be doing this. Miles is going to see if there's maybe something else he wants to try his hand at. If not, we're basically going to do this module. Miles is going to have his character, but he's basically going to shut up because he knows all the traps. We'll play through this. After this, one way or the other, we'll move on to. If Miles does a one shot, we'll do a one shot. If not, we'll just move on to the new campaign in Waterdeep Dragon Heights.
Fair enough.
So, It's a 10:15, so I'll say, especially because some of you guys wanted to look at some other stuff, we can go ahead and call it here. But next week we venture forth into the tomb.
All right.
Love it.
Time
Can't
to
wait.
die.
Yeah, I don't see Will getting out of this one.
All right. Good stuff.
All right, I'll see you guys next week.
Mm-hmm.